What's going on? What's going on? Man, what is going on with this camera? Give me one sec. I gotta straighten that out. I thought it. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Yeah, my bad, man. That, that camera was on some bullshit. I was like, what the hell? I thought I set it up, but like sometimes when I go in for some reason it doesn't take. Let me plug these headphones up. All right. You know what time it is? It's your gracious host A6, and I am the foreign national born natural. We here live and direct, live in effect. A little late, a little bit of technical difficulties running around and stuff like that. It was a lot of nonsense that caused me to be a little late today on the show, but we here. We here and we're going to chop it up. See who here in the chat. What up, Zakiba? What's going on, man? I saw your comment on the post I made about the world passport. Yeah, so definitely good to see you here. Yes, sir. What up, Jimmy? Good to have you here. Joel Lander, what's going on with you? National Bank, peace God to you, man. The Wolf, up to the family, CU86, praise to the grid. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for stopping in, man. What up, Rich? Yes, sir. We here. Man, so apparently it was supposed to be a blizzard this weekend in Maryland. And the area I'm at though didn't get hit that hard, but out towards the coast where Ocean City and all that stuff is, man, they got dumped on from what I heard. I heard they got like a foot and a half or something like that. They got slammed on out there. It didn't get too bad out here. It was like the roads was a little screwed up, but they use this type of salt now that they pre-treat the roads. So back in the day, in the early 2000s and such, which is a very interesting story about this. Um, there was a mayor here that used to hit Marylanders with a rain tax. Yes, they would tax you for rain, and the idea was um, they had something called the rain tax to basically offset any kind of chemicals that bled into the ocean or the bay rather itself. So they imposed this tax and people were against it, but the shit ended up going through. You know, they'll pass any damn thing to get more money out your pocket. So what they would do is they were saying, yeah, because the salt that's used for the roads it is very dangerous to wildlife. So what happens is the salt when it rains, the salt chemicals get into the storm drain and it gets into the Chesapeake Bay and it poisons the wildlife and the sea creatures or whatever. So here's the thing, yo. Here's the kicker, all right? This mofo actually had an option because there's different kinds of salt he could have gotten at that time. I think it was Mayor O'Malley. Like, dude was horrible. He was super corrupt. But yo, this dude actually went ahead and selected to put the cheaper salt down. So not only did they pick the cheaper kind of salt that can actually affect the Chesapeake Bay and get mixed in with it's even worse for the wildlife and such. He actually taxed Marylanders for him choosing cheaper salt. Like that, I swear you can't make this up, yo. You cannot make this up at all. And then the stuff they use now is still not good for the environment, but it's not as bad as that rock salt is. That rock salt is terrible, man. If you got a whip and you don't wash that rock salt off your paint, bro, your paint will definitely start to screw up and get decayed and stuff. That stuff's awful. It's full of all kinds of chemicals, man. But yeah, that rock salt is god awful. They actually down in the city, they actually put like a bunch of boxes and they're like basically salt boxes, and people get it at their own leisure and put it all over the concrete and stuff like that because they ain't gonna do nothing for you. But but yeah, man, that was a thing. Not only would they put the cheaper salt down with tax dollars from U.S. citizens and shit like that, they would go ahead and tax you on top of what you've already not elected to spend for them using cheap salt, so they can spend the money on whatever they spend it on. You know how that goes. We talk about that every week. But yeah, man, more corruption. Yes, sir. So let me see. Couple things we got to talk about today. Let me get over to. Let's start off with the usuals. Wow, that thing. Hold on, give me a second here. How did that happen? All right, so I got a few things I wanted to show you guys real quick that I stumbled upon, and like we have a lot to talk about because a lot happened this week. All right, so one of the first things I wanted to show you is this. This was on Coleon Noir's channel. Anybody who follows Coleon Noir, he's a a Second Amendment guy. He's not into the same type of esoteric knowledge we're into, but he's more about the here we go. He's more about the whole entire Second Amendment thing. So let me go ahead and unplug this. I want you guys to hear this. All right, this is Colion Noir. Go subscribe to his channel if you're interested. He's got 1.97 subscribers, so he won't be disappointed if you don't subscribe. So yeah, but check this out. This is talking about smart guns.
So apparently, smart guns are finally arriving in the U.S.
It's a frosty January day at this firing range in Boise, Idaho, where the rangemaster checks and readies to fire a new prototype of what might be the handgun of the future. Developed by Lodestar Works, this 9mm pistol is a prototype smart gun, equipped with fingerprint reader, passcode, and a way to lock and unlock it from a mobile phone.
Right now we're testing two different positions for that biometric from an ergonomic standpoint. First thing right here where you either touch it with your thumb or your index finger. The opposite side with your index finger more when you're in a shooting position.
Rob Regent is a mechanical engineer with SGW Design Works, which is building the Lodestar prototype.
The second authentication method is a pin pad right here. And what those are just more or less tactile push buttons. There's 3 of them. You know, you can do 4 to 6 digits. It acts much like an electronic door lock would.
Hold on, somebody said there's an echo. Do y'all hear echo? I want to get this sorted out first. Do y'all hear an echo at all? Let me know if y'all hear echo. Yeah, Jimmy Bennett says there's an echo. Hold on, let me see if I can get that straightened out. Do y'all hear any echo? Does anybody else hear echo but him? It might be his cheap ass headphones. There is an echo. Oh shit. Hold on a sec. Get rid of this damn thing. Here we go. Echo cancellation. Okay. All right, let me try this then. Let me know if y'all still hear echo.
Third method is the BLE or the Bluetooth low energy. And basically we have a mobile application that communicate wirelessly to the gun, and you can lock or unlock from any of those methods altogether.
Personalized smart guns, which can only be fired by verified users, may finally be available to U.S. consumers after 2 decades of questions about reliability and concerns they will usher in a new wave of government regulation.
Look.
All right, so there's still an echo. What in the hell is going on here? All right. I'm not sure exactly why that's happening, actually. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that. Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get rid of that, man. I had the echo cancellation on, but for some reason, something weird going. Maybe it's his channel. I don't know. It started when I unplugged them. Ah, shoot. All right, hold on a sec. Technical difficulties, folks. Please stand by. Now, let me know if there's an echo now.
I have 3 MacBooks, 3 desktops, 2 iPhones. I sell smart electronic gun safes on my shop.mrcolionnoir.com site. And I think the electric car that is the Porsche Taycan is one of the best looking cars on the street right now. I am a smart tech whore, so I have no problem with them developing.
All right, there's still another. All right, you know what? We're just going.
Smart guns. Make as many Daft Punk, Blade Runner, crypto guns you want. Just don't force me or anyone else to buy them. Unfortunately, that's exactly what the likes of Joe Biden and the rest of the anti-gun politicians and organizations want to do.
Lastly, we should have smart guns. No gun should be able to be sold unless your biometric measure could pull that trigger. It's with.
Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear the video? I had it unfixed. What? So hold on. So, all right.
Within our right to do that.
So the gun community isn't against smart gun technology. We're against being forced to replace all of our guns with smart gun technology.
Lodestar co-founder Gareth Glazer told Reuters the inspiration for the company came after hearing one too many stories about children shot while playing with an unattended gun.
I'd seen the abject failure of every policy to try to do something about gun safety. Lobbying and regulations and lawsuits and, and it all goes nowhere. Not one life is saved. In fact, the statistics just keep going up.
Actually, the number of unintentional gun deaths is decreasing, not going up. However, these deaths are still tragic nonetheless. Unintentional gun deaths make up 1% of total gun-related deaths. That's about 500 unintentional gun deaths a year. Of those deaths, 28.3% are from playing with guns, i.e., kids getting their hands on a loaded gun. 17.2% are from people believing the gun wasn't loaded, and 13.8% were from hunting. That means smart guns will only realistically possibly prevent about 145 unintentional gun deaths, because a smart gun won't prevent hunting accidents or believing your gun wasn't loaded and pulling the trigger. So that's 145 unintentional gun deaths that can be easily solved by keeping your gun away from kids who are untrained and uneducated about guns, or you could just simply train and educate them, and this largely becomes a non-issue. If you can teach a kid not to touch a stove, you can teach them not to touch a gun.
Advocates say smart guns could also reduce suicides. A lost or stolen gun would be useless, and police officers would not have to fear that their own service weapons might be taken and used against them.
I'm not buying the idea that smart guns will prevent suicides. The only suicides that I can see a smart gun preventing is someone using a family member's or friend's gun. South Korea has a much higher suicide rate than the US. 28.6 per 100,000 people compared to 16.1. And you can't even own a gun in South Korea unless you keep it at a police station. And the most common form in South Korea is by poison and hanging. That should tell you that guns aren't the issue. As for making lost or stolen guns useless, allow me to introduce hacking.
This pistol, the Armatics IP1 and its RFID watch, are sold as one of the most secure firearm systems available.
The IP1 requires the watch to be present in order to fire. If the watch is absent, the gun does not fire.
But a security researcher who goes by the pseudonym Plore has found flaws in the Armatics, both high and low tech, that entirely defeat its security measures. He intends to present his findings at this year's hacker conference, DEF CON.
Not only was it insecure in a way that was easier than I had anticipated.
He found ways to extend the range of the watch's connection to the pistol, to jam the gun's radio signals, preventing it from firing even when the shooter is wearing the watch. And most alarmingly, to fire the pistol without the watch at all by using simple and cheap magnets.
And as far as smart guns preventing criminals from taking cops' guns and using it against them, I don't see too many cops racing to go get smart guns. As a matter of fact, I'd be pretty certain that most of them don't want them. And truth be told, we kind of already solved this issue a long time ago. It's called retention.
In the past few years, Safariland has been able to develop what we call a level 4 holster. Let me just demonstrate it quickly. If you take a look at the holster, if you take and do anything you want to the grip of the weapon, it's going to remain in the holster remain locked onto the belt of the officer. The primary release right here is this mechanism we call a sentry. So by me releasing the sentry, it will still now pass a level 1 test. At the end of that, if I simply take and push down on the SLS system, if you notice when I push down the SLS system, it releases it, but unless I move it forward, it's still locked. But I'm going to release it and push this forward. And as I do, it will still pass another level 1 test. This will be the 3rd time. The weapon is still locked in the holster. At the final part there, if I take and grip the weapon properly and release this final lever, then I can draw the weapon. And so that gives us our level 4. And it's a very quick operating holster where we just draw the weapon quickly from the holster after releasing all those mechanisms.
The Lodestar gun would sell for $895. Similar firearms are being readied for market by other developers.
Like I said before, make all the smart guns you want. I love the Porsche Taycan. It's fully electric, it's fast, and it's gorgeous. But I don't want one right now. I want a gas-powered car. The government isn't mandating me to buy electric cars, at least for now. So it shouldn't mandate me to buy a smart gun, especially when the problems they claim to fix in theory aren't really fixed in reality. People shouldn't be forced to rely on experimental technology to protect their lives, especially when the old technology works just fine. The truth is, the anti-gun lobby, politicians, and groups salivate over smart guns because it's the perfect way to gain the control they so desperately want. The Second Amendment was specifically written to give power to the people, not the government. So unless there's going to be some sort of firearm blockchain that the government can't gain any control of, I don't trust the government to have control of what my gun does and doesn't do. Hell, I don't even want private companies to have control over what my gun does and doesn't do. And that's exactly what smart guns are. They are a gateway to give power over your gun's functions to someone else that doesn't have your best freedom in mind. Speaking of which, I need people to remember that the Founding Fathers wrote the Second Amendment to empower us, not put our faith in government. So when the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia, it's talking about you. You are the militia. That's why the rest of the Second Amendment says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, because it was referring to you. And that's why I came up with the I am the militia design, because to not only remind you that you yourself are the militia, but to also remind everyone else that they are responsible for their own safety. So head over to shop.mrcoleonnoir.com and grab your I am the militia shirt.
Okay, so looks like smart arms are the next phase of the electronic city we always talk about. So you're gonna have situations where people had chips in their hand or their forehead or whatever that interacts with everything that they come in contact with, including their arms that they actually use. And it's going to be a situation where you're in a car that's electronic too. So everything is going to be digital, basically. That's insane to me. But yeah, that's basically where it's headed. That's basically where it's headed. But as far as the smart, quote unquote, smart guns go, man, like it's gonna probably be a point. I would say they'd probably start off with something for a fingerprint, where like your fingerprint actually has to match the fingerprint on file for that arm in order for it to even activate. And then how about this, man? In terms of things being a situation where they can be hacked and all that stuff. What if that should? What if somebody can hack your arm? You know what I mean? What if that can happen? What if they can, like you said, my man said he used a radio transmitter to jam up the arm that they were using. Like, what if you could just put something in place to jam up all the arms? Like, it's a stupid ass idea to me. But this is more that electric city stuff we're talking about, man. The old fashioned way things are done, they're trying to move them all out. But yeah, no thank you. That's a hard no. I feel the same way about this as I feel about those fully electric cars. Like they absolutely, like he said, they absolutely look nice and they're dope. And I mean, you know, they're trendy and all that stuff. The Teslas look beautiful, but I couldn't see myself having a Tesla. No, thank you. Absolutely not. I want to be able to put that good old fashioned premium gasoline in my shit and let that shit run. I want to hear the engine. You know what I mean? If I want to put C16 in the tank, I want to put C16 in there. If y'all don't know what C16 is, that's basically like a race fuel. It's like a blue fuel, leaded. You put it in your car, and you know you can actually turn boost up in your car and all that stuff. That's the old-fashioned way of doing things, man. I guess I'm just old-fashioned with it, you know. But nah, no thank you on that one. Hard pass on that. Oh man, what up, Carl? What's going on with you? Gary the Silver says sounds on point. Thank you. It took me a minute to figure out what was going on. Jeremiah Banks says, have I been successful with accepted for value 1099 OID? I haven't used the 1099 OID and probably won't. even if I did, that wouldn't be something I would discuss publicly. That's private. You know what I mean? But I will go ahead and say no. The accepted for value, I haven't used that either. So none of those processes. The new thing that's hot on the street, if you guys aren't aware, what are those? What are those? The 1099As, I think they are, is what people are doing. The 1099As is real hot in the street right now. People are doing those, and they're like creating letters, basically telling the dealership or whatever bank they're trying to get the item from what to do, create this, that, and the third, 1099C, 1099, what is it? OID, 1099C, and they're basically claiming to be the beneficiary. The gentleman, what is his name? What's that new guy's name? Hoss or something like that. He's got like a channel, and the guy it's very interesting because the dude, the semi came out of nowhere because I don't remember seeing any of his videos before. I just happened to stumble upon his 1099A video, and he was basically saying, and we talked about this last time. He was saying that his dude used it to go get a car off the showroom floor. And I need to confirm or deny such claim because I don't have any proof that it does or does not work. So I don't know. But I will say this though: if you're going to do something like that, you playing around in the public domain, you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed because they can come for your ass. Like I said, I ain't gonna say it does or does not work because I don't know, but it makes sense as to what he was saying. He was saying claiming you're the beneficiary to the trust, the sister KV trust, and such like that. You're basically giving them the trustees, which are like the car dealership. And he was saying when you give which makes sense, when you give your social security number to the car dealer or what have you, and they go run your credit, they basically agree to become trustees, which makes perfect sense. So when they run your credit and let you know whether you can or can't get it, like your credit's fucked up, you can't get it. Like, look, well, since you already ran it, you're a trustee. So why don't you talk to your financing department, I believe it was, and see if you can take a 1099A. And then he said the dude came back the next day and it worked. That's what he said. So I don't. Hey, go over to his channel if you're interested in that, man, because I don't dabble in that. Just answered that. Imagine the chip in the firearm malfunction. Then right. Like let's say for instance, you got like you got some heads that's technically savvy and stuff like that, and they using technology to block the signal. Shit, what if it's a hostage situation? Let's say it's a hostage situation or something like that, and then you got SWAT trying to do their thing, and the guys on the inside, they got technology like some Ocean's 11 type shit, and they use radio frequency technology to shut down all their AR-15s and stuff. Then what? But I'm pretty sure they would have some shit that ain't that easy to get past. But I'm just theoretically putting it out there. The whole smart guns thing is, if you want one, it should be an option that you can get it. But I don't think it's something that should be forced on people because that's crazy to me. And yeah, like my man Wolf said, man, gun tracking, they're yeah, absolutely. Put an RFID. It's already going to be RFID chips in the joints from what they basically saying. And yeah, they can know what it was and all that stuff. It can also be used for nefarious purposes on top of that, Yeah, you can use your imagination there, but yeah, no thank you. Jimmy Bennett said Skyline time. Hey, man. Hey, man. That sounds lovely. That's what I'm going to say to you. That sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. You know what I mean? Shit. I had that same R34 GTR that Paul Walker had in the Fast and Furious. Was it Too Fast, Too Furious? Yeah, I think it was. The silver one with the blue paint on there, man. GTR 34. Woo! I think it's gorgeous. I love that car. Gorgeous. My favorite one's the 33 though. The 33 GTR's got my heart. That's my favorite. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yep. Gonna be tracking people. Yep, they can shut them down wirelessly. You say something they don't like, and this is all gonna fall in with the social credit score. Remember we talked about the social credit score that China has right now. If you don't know what the social credit score is, you go to Black Mirror and watch. I think season 1. I don't know which episode it is on season 1 though. You should watch all of them really because that's where technology is. That's literally telling you where technology is headed on Black Mirror. So if you haven't seen that, get Netflix and go watch Black Mirror because they're literally telling you what's coming. They're putting you on point ahead of time what's coming. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, one of the things was a social credit score, The lady had a social credit score and stuff like that, and she started to deviate from what the public narrative was, and they started hammering her for it. You know, they started dropping her credit scores to the point where she can only ride certain parts of the train and stuff. You know what I mean? Certain people wouldn't even talk to her because they could see her credit score when she approached them. Like, yo, it's like, you know, that elitism type thing, you know. But yeah, that's definitely a possibility. That social credit score is coming, and people think it's a joke, but they fail to realize this stuff's already been implemented in China, man. China's the test run on everything. You know, once China puts it through and it goes through and everything, they start to, you know, try to sell the idea to other countries, and it's all the ultimate answer is control, man. Yes, sir. Digital houses, cars. That's crazy though. Think about that, man. Think about that. Digital houses, like they can lock you out of your own shit. Like what the bruh? Like they can literally lock. They can make it so your RFID chip doesn't respond to you even going to your crib. That's wild. How can people even want something like that though? You know, and they probably play it off like, yeah, we'll make it so that if somebody doesn't have an RFID, they can't get in your house or something like that. So it's gonna cut housing burglaries and break-ins down. That kind of stuff. You know, that kind of stuff. But no, thank you, man. Absolutely not. Fuck no. So Jimmy Bennett talking like he's done it before. I haven't. I can't say, man. But yeah, the 1099s, that's what's hot in the street right now. That's what's hot in the street. Everybody's talking about those. I'm gonna tell you this though. Be careful with them, man. It's just like people used to use that technique of using what was it, the number of the bank or something like that, and a number on the back of the social security card to discharge debt. And people started to get hemmed up for it because people got greedy. You know, people started buying 4 or 5 houses off of that shit, and they started to get caught up. Just be very careful with it, all right? If you do decide to go out and jump out there, don't get greedy. Yeah, he just randomly popped up on my feed. I'm scared. Dude, listen, yo, Chris Hauser. Yeah, listen. I was literally listening to Yusuf L. I was listening to one of his podcasts, and then the next video was and it said something about 1099s. And I'm like, well, I kept hearing about 1099 OIDs, and Yusuf was saying motherfuckers was going to jail for using them because they was. Well, I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I heard from different sources people was taking them and you're supposed to use them for investing purposes or something like that. I don't mess with them, so I don't know offhand, but people were saying you're supposed to use them for investment purposes, but people were taking them and they were cashing them out and they were buying like cars and shit with them. And then the IRS came for their ass and they had no excuse. So yeah, he popped up and he was basically talking about that joint. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Where is this guy even from? And Yusuf L's actually doing a back and forth with him too. They subliminally going back and forth with each other because he made a video talking about I don't file nothing. I'm just a sovereign, such and such. And then Yusuf L made a video right after that called Do I Have to File Paperwork? So then he came out and responded to the joint. He was like, I was watching this white guy's video. He was talking about, not filing anything. Like, so yeah, they going back and forth. So you got the guys basically going at each other in such a way, but it's not really direct yet. I think it's going to get there eventually. But I mean, I know there's different ways to go about doing this stuff and different information that you can apply to different things. So I can't say which one's right or wrong. You have to basically do your own research, man. People asking me if the processes work. I don't know. Your own research. He said, I'm skeptical. He opts on Loki. Yo, that's crazy though, because I had whole time I was listening to him, like, yo, this don't sound right, man. Like, why would you be talking about something you do in the private, in the public? Like, that's the shit he be saying. Then he put his information up and it had like his address and shit. I'm like, I don't know about this. This shit weird, yo. I don't know. So yeah, I eased up off that joint. I eased up off it. Yeah, I ain't really mess with it like that. My man Zakiva says all you need to do is pass one magnet. Yeah, how about that? A magnet. You see the RGD? No, I did not. But I'm strictly against wagons. Only wagon I like is the WRX wagon, and the Evo wagon that came out that 2003. No, I think it came out in 04 or 05. There was the Evo 8 MR wagon that came out in Japan that never came over here. I actually like that joint, but wagons are not my thing. Check out Operation Fast and Furious Gun Trafficking. Or is that on? That must be on YouTube. I'll check it out, man. I wonder how the Amish will adjust to the future if it's one world order they'll be forced to comply. I don't think so, yo, because I still think there's rules, man. I feel like there's still rules. Even if there's a one world government, it still has to be. You still have to have a choice. Yo, I still believe that's. I don't think they can step over that line, bro. You know, that's what anti-disestablishmentarianism was. That's why people do them ecclesiastical trusts, and they ain't got to mess with taxes at all because it's a separation of church and state to a degree, anyway. But yeah, you know, so I can't really say, man. I don't think they would have to. You know. That's who Yusuf was ranting about yeah, Yusuf be going off, man. He be going off from time to time. And I be laughing at him because like by now sometimes he be sounding like a grumpy old man. Like that's my man's, yo. I fucked with Joe heavy and he's smart as shit. I listen to a lot of his stuff. But sometimes he be sounding like a grumpy old man, like, y'all stupid motherfuckers, man. Like, come on, man. Is that really necessary, bro? A funny dude, man. Funny dude. But yeah, I like his I listen to both of them, but you know, I'll listen to any podcast or something like that discussing the knowledge, man. But you really got to use your own brain with this stuff. You can't just eat everything you're fed. You know, you got to do your own reading, your own research. You can't just go off what somebody says and just use that shit because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have an issue where you're gonna have to enforce it. So if it's an instrument, let's say for instance, you're trying to discharge a debt with an instrument or something like that. Not only do you have to understand Public Law 7310, HAR 192, all that stuff, discharge the negotiable instruments, you know, UCC, what is it, 3-306 or 603G. Not only do you have to understand all that stuff, you also have to have a clear understanding of how to enforce them because they can just try to treat you like a pipsqueak and say, yeah, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Nah, that ain't what it is. You still owe this, you know, just because you sense this or whatever doesn't mean that resolves you of your obligation. They'll try that. They'll try you on that. And at that point, you got to know where to turn. You know, you got to know what to do. So that's proper channels you have to research. Yeah, but yeah, a whole lot of that stuff, man, is it's about reading, man. You can't just go off what everybody says. You know, that's what it is. But yeah, I'm jumping off subject. Let me get back to what I was talking about here. All right, so we already talked about that last time. All right, so I was doing some research on the do not detain list also. And a lot of people talk about the do not detain list and they say, oh, some people say it's not true and such and such. Well, I got proof right here it's fucking true, so that's dead. But what does it exactly mean? So, you know, just doing a random search, I stumbled across this right here. What does do not detain mean? A do not detain order is law enforcement's way of letting you know that they're not interested in pursuing any minor charges against you because they're under investigation for bigger things. If you are on the do not detain list, take advantage. This guy said, take advantage of it. I sure do. I speed. I do burnouts in front of cops. They generally clown on them if they pull me over. It's a bunch of fun to mess with them. All right, so don't be that guy right there. All right, because let's get it 100%. Let's not get it twisted, man. Don't be this guy because don't be the guy to get your ass beat. You know what I mean? Or just get your shit. Don't get Kevin out here. Speaking of Kevin, what happened to dude, man? I haven't seen that dude in like 4 weeks. I hope he all right, man. Cause last time I heard, Kevin was doing some legal action or something like that, from what I understand. And yeah, that's the last time I heard from him for real. I hope he okay. Word on the street is them boys out Massachusetts, they don't play, yo. They don't play at all. They be on that bullshit. And they don't play. But yeah, don't be this guy right here. So, you know, don't be the guy that we heard of a guy who had got his passport card and this dumb motherfucker pulled into a military base and was doing like donuts in the parking lot and shit. And he tried to give him a passport card. I'm like, man, they threw that shit back. Get your bitch ass out the car. What you think this is? You know what I mean? So don't be that guy, man. Jimmy says it's called Administrative Procedure to Enforce UCC 3-604 and UCC 3-603 and 31 United States Code 5118, Public Law 7310, paying with the silver quarter minute prior to 1964. Okay, so that's all right. Got you. Okay, yeah, 3603. I'm familiar with that one. I got to look up 3604 though. Let's look it up, shall we? We got time. 3604. Now, hold on. Technical difficulties, folks. Please stand by. I'm having all kinds of difficulties today. Today ain't my day, is it? 604. Here we go. What in the hell is taking so long? Hurry the fuck up. Yeah, the internet's been real trippy around here for some reason. Is anybody else having problems with their internet, by the way? That's another issue I've been having. Around here, the internet started to like slow down substantially. I was perfectly fine a week ago, and then I know Yusuf was talking about his internet dropped out for like a few days, and then it came back, but it's been on the fritz. I mean, we starting to have that problem here, so it almost makes me wonder if it's something else going on. All right, let's get to it then. Where's the damn thing at? Here it is. Why is it all the way up here? That doesn't make any sense at all. All right, here we go. Yeah, so he's talking about UCC 3-604, discharged by cancellation or renunciation. A person entitled to enforce an instrument with or without consideration may discharge the obligation of a party to pay the instrument by intentional voluntary acts such as surrender of the instrument to the party, destruction, mutilation, or cancellation of the instrument, cancellation or striking out the party's signature, or the addition of words to the instrument indicating discharge, or two, by agreeing not to sue, otherwise renouncing rights against the party by a signed record. It says B, cancellation or striking out of an endorsement pursuant to subsection A does not affect the status and rights of a party derived from the endorsement. C, this is a good ass code right here. Good looking out, Jimmy. As used in this section, signed with respect to a record that is not a writing, includes the attachment to or logical association with the record or of an electronic symbol, sound, or process to with the record with the present intent to adopt or accept the record. Yeah, this is dope. So you can actually probably cite this too if you plan on using any discharge techniques. This is probably one of the ones you want to cite. But yeah, that's good looking out on that. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fire. Just bought some crystals waiting for them to come in. Which ones you get, man? Be smart with it because the cops will rivet. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, and where you are, depending on where you are, man, they probably gonna get away with it too, depending on where you at. You gotta operate like a creditor, bro. When you're moving around, you gotta be like a creditor for real. You can't be argumentative and shit like that. You know what I mean? Stand firm on what you believe in, but you don't need to be a dick on the same token. If they being a dick, then you just make your words very scarce. You know, probably make your words scarce, and then I ask to speak to a supervisor or something. But I don't give legal advice. I just give information. Y'all know that. In the event you go to court over the quarter, you can enact 42 USC 1983 to enforce those codes and any statute acts and other against them. 42 USC 1983. All right. Take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, I've actually read this before. Civil action and deprivation of rights. Absolutely. All right. So y'all got y'all pens and papers handy, I hope. All right, 42 USC 1983, civil action for deprivation of rights. Every person who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage of any state or territory or the District of Columbia subjects or causes to be subjected any citizen of the United States or other person within jurisdiction thereof to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution and laws, shall be liable to the party injured in action at law, suit in equity, or other proper proceeding for redress, except that any action brought against a judicial officer for an act or omission taken in such officer's judicial capacity, injunctive relief shall not be granted unless a declaratory decree was violated or declaratory relief was unavailable. For the purposes of this section, an act of Congress applicable explicitly to the District of Columbia shall be considered to be a statute of the District of Columbia. All right, so I had a little bit of a problem with some of the wordage in it, but I mean, I guess if you're seeking remedy, if you're the one enacting it, pretty much, it wouldn't be as much of an issue, I don't think, from what I'm reading. But yeah, some of the wordage was a little weird, but you know how that goes, man, with the wordage. You're good on your end? Oh, that's good. Immunity goes out the door when you use it. Boom. All right, so I gotta block this goofy ass motherfucker. There we go. Weird ass bots and shit. All right, boom. So yeah, he says immunity goes out of the door when you use it. All right, cool. So his administrative process, he says, is you enforce 3-604 UCC 3603 31 USC 5118 Public Law 7310. And then he says he uses he dropping big gems 42 USC 1983 to enforce it. Yes, sir. I know some people were saying you can go right to if they don't acknowledge your right to discharge the debt since they're underneath uniform commercial codes. They'll pretend they aren't though. When they're talking to you, they'll ignore all uniform commercial codes because they can. But somebody was saying that they actually just create a police report and then basically say it's fraud pretty much and go to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, and report them to the FTC as fraudulent. So that's what some other people did. So I mean, there's different ways to go about it. But yeah, he was saying if you take him to court when you enact that 42 USC 1983, balls to the wall, their immunity's gone. Yeah, that's a lot of times that's honestly what we do want when we're trying to go out after these corrupt motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Ah, boy. But yeah, man, that's one way to get it done. Absolutely. Let's hop over here real fast. I already showed you guys this. All right. So this here is a video that I actually stumbled upon on Instagram. And this is just for discussion. All right, so people are talking about a lot of people talk about the metaverse and such, and how much of a setup the metaverse can be. But check this idea out right here. What if we already in a metaverse? And this goes back to the simulation theory.
How do we know that we're actually not living in the metaverse now? Watch this.
Strongest argument for being in a simulation, probably being in a simulation, I think is the following. 40 years ago, we had Pong, like two rectangles and a dot. But now you can see a video game that's photorealistic, almost photorealistic, and millions of people playing simultaneously. And you see where things are going with virtual reality. If you extrapolate that out into the future with any rate of progress at all, like even 0.1% or something like that a year, they'll be so realistic, you will not be able to tell the difference between that game and the reality as we know it. And then it seems like, well, how do we know that that didn't happen in the past and that we're not in one of those games ourselves?
All right. Now, Elon Musk is a weirdo to me, and I don't even think that guy's as smart as everybody gives him credit for. To me, he just seems like a figurehead. You know what I mean? That dude strikes me as a descendant of one of those really rich and powerful families who's basically probably went to like a real expensive college and got through just because people have money and shit like that. And that dude's just basically there to be like a face You know what I mean? And then, you know, it's basically there to take responsibility for Tesla and such. But yeah, that guy strikes me as a figurehead, man. Strikes me. I read somewhere online that one of his listings for what he actually was an actor, and there's a lot of celebrities that's supposed to be like that you have never seen on the big screen. Even politicians that are listed as actors when you look up their profiles and stuff online, which is odd, you know. But we all know why that is. But you know, for people that don't, why the fuck would they be listed as an actor? We can start there and then you can work your way over to the truth, you know. But yeah, that dude strikes me as an actor, man. You know, I don't believe the fact that this dude's a genius at all. You know, I remember a friend of mine was saying Elon Musk is a dumbass, but I can't prove it yet. But I have a striking suspicion that Elon Musk might just be a dumbass. Like he might be below average intelligence. But hey, you know, I can have an opinion. What up, Tony? What's going on with you, man? Good to see you here. James says, report them to the SEC, IRS, AG, FBI. Here's the problem with the FBI and the IRS. Or not even the IRS, but the FBI. I've actually reported corrupt officials to the FBI. Nothing was done about it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're even, to be honest with you, on our side. And the comptroller might. I'd skip the FBI. There we go. They do the opposite. They're there to cover up the crimes of other agencies. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yo, when you hit the FBI for some shit, like if you get your rights taken away or something like that, you know, like when I was at that courthouse at the entrance and shit, they wouldn't let me in. Yeah. I sent them a message and they basically didn't even fucking respond. So them motherfuckers playing for the other team, man. The IRS, I would say, might be a different story. That's one game I will not play. No, thank you. Not with the metaverse stuff. Large raw crystal, citrine, lapis lazuli. I actually had a lapis lazuli bracelet that broke. I was a little irritated about that too. He says he has labradorite. Why couldn't I read that? Rose quartz, tourmaline, tiger's eye, topaz. Yeah, I've heard about the tourmaline and the. I actually have tourmaline here. I keep it over here, so it's probably behind the computer. I'd have to move a bunch of stuff to get to it, but yeah. I keep tourmaline. I've seen the tiger's eye, real good looking, and topaz also. There's blue topaz. I think it does the same thing. Absolutely. But yeah. As far as the crystals go, man, definitely do your research on the crystals. You know what I mean? Do your research on them. Do your research because there's different ones that can help you out. All right, so look, let me show you guys this real quick. So if you guys are familiar with the channel called Audit the Audit. Now, I watched this channel a lot before I even became aware of what nationals and all that stuff. I was doing research on that just to fully get a grasp on how things are done and how they're able to get away with some of the shit they get away with. But this right here, this really bothered me, man. This really bothered me. But I mean, once you know how the game is played, you'll understand why they did things the way they did it. It's still wrong though. You know, there's still got to be some kind of rules to this shit.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers vehicle searches, planting evidence, and roadside chemical tests, and is brought to us by USA Today. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, the Commuter 2 speaker from Cove. I've been using the Commuter 2 for years now, and between its amazing sound quality, ease of use, and small form factor, there is no need for any other speaker. The Commuter can last for 7 hours on a single charge. It has a water-resistant rating of IPX7 and has a built-in microphone for taking. So click the link before it's too late. Thanks again to Cove for sponsoring this episode. On February 15th, 2018, at approximately 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Deputy Zach Wester of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office pulled over 52-year-old grandmother Teresa Odom in Marianna, Florida, because her vehicle brake lights were allegedly flickering on and off at a fast pace. At the time of the stop, Ms. Odom was on felony probation for dealing in stolen property. After Ms. Odom was pulled over, Deputy Wester approached the driver's side window of Ms. Odom's vehicle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Should I turn in here to get off?
You're fine. You're fine. Deputy Wester with Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Reason for my stop is your brake lights.
Yes, sir.
They work 1 minute, and the next minute they don't work, and then a few seconds later they just flash. Okay, so
it's probably because of the rain.
Okay, that's fine. You got your driver's license on you, ma'am?
I just got tickets the other day. I'll be glad to show
did
to
you?
you.
No, you're fine. All right, thank you. I'll be right back.
My truck may or may not start when I turn it off. You may have to push me off, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Okay. Do you need to turn it off? Do you have to turn it off?
It'd probably be better.
Okay.
I'm on a hard time with it as it is.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If
Can
we
I
can
answer my phone?
Yeah. You can answer your phone. I'm just trying to think what's going to be best for. What is? What is that right there?
What is what?
That right there.
What is what? This?
That straw right there.
This is not a straw. It's an ink pen.
Oh, okay.
It's an ink pen.
It was connected. It looked like it was
No
connected
straw.
to that arc.
Hey,
Just
I
hang
just
tight,
got
okay?
pulled over.
Why doesn't every home in the U.S. have solar panels? The number one reason is
All right, let me get this shit out of here.
You see my hip give out right then? Good Lord.
Look,
All
you just don't even need to know. I've been at the hospital with an
My
84-year-old
God.
uncle all day long for 3 days. now,
Okay.
So I'm expecting anything at this point.
That would be, I hope everything turns out good with that, all right?
It did. It did.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm
It did.
sorry.
And I'm waiting on Dr. Albritton to call me. That was another thing I was fixing to tell you.
Okay.
If Dr. Albritton calls,
That's
I may
fine.
answer his call.
That ain't no problem. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to keep you from talking on the phone, okay?
So it seems as though this dude's demeanor is really, really nice, right? And it seems like this guy's not being like extra aggressive or anything like that. So the transaction between the two, which is pretty much a business transaction, is very cordial.
Anything in the vehicle I need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades,
Drugs,
rocket launchers?
nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Here's what I do probably 10 or 15 times a shift, okay? There's going to be a K9 coming in a minute, and she's going to walk around the car, okay?
Yo, but that's crazy to me because I've seen situations where they get the K9s to come out just because somebody won't answer questions and shit like that. Then they have certain commands they can actually give the K9 to jump on your car or something like that, or they call it giving them a hit or something like that, where they can actually pull you out to see what's in the car and shit. And this is all because of that K9.
But instead of doing that, would you consent to a search of your vehicle? You're fine.
Absolutely not. Hell no. I think I had a police officer, I think I had 2 police officers the whole time I've been riding, asking me to search my shit. Like, fuck no, you ain't searching my shit, bruh. Hell no. Are you crazy? No, sir. Absolutely not. And it ain't because you necessarily do anything wrong, yo. It's just like, why do you need to search my? Absolutely not. No.
Fine with that? Okay. All right. You mind stepping out and just hanging out with this deputy right back here?
No, I don't. I'm scared of being in this traffic. To be
No,
honest.
Deputy Hayke will take care of you.
Deputy Wester informs Ms. Odom that a canine unit is on the way and requests that she consent to a search of her vehicle instead of waiting for the canine. Despite the fact that she was under no legal obligation to do so, Ms. Odom readily agrees to allow Deputy Wester to search her vehicle. In general, while officers are not prohibited from requesting to search a citizen's home, vehicle, or person, individuals have the right to refuse to consent.
That's the 4th Amendment. And then whatever state constitution that you are in, whatever jurisdiction you're in, that also is probably covered in the state constitution. I know it's Article 24 here in Maryland.
However, if an individual consents, officers have the authority to conduct a search, even if there is no probable cause, reasonable suspicion, or any justification whatsoever for the search. For this reason, criminal defense attorneys recommend that individuals refuse to consent to any search that an officer requests permission to conduct, because if an officer asks for consent to search, they typically do not have the legal authority to conduct the search without permission. It is also important to note that a court would almost certainly conclude that Deputy Wester did not have the reasonable suspicion necessary to detain Ms. Odom to wait for the canine unit to arrive. In the 2015 case of Rodriguez versus United States.
So he basically tricked her. He said the canine unit's coming anyway. So, to avoid the waiting time, why don't you just go ahead and let me search? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I don't want no canines to come. I don't want no canines near my car, and I don't want no searching. I want to continue driving.
States, the Supreme Court held that extending the duration of a traffic stop beyond the time reasonably required to complete the mission of the stop to wait for a canine unit to arrive and complete a dog sniff of the vehicle violated the Fourth Amendment. The court explained that, quote, an officer may conduct certain unrelated checks during an otherwise lawful traffic stop, but he may not do so in a way that prolongs the stop, absent the reasonable suspicion ordinarily demanded to justify detaining an individual. Here, Deputy Wester had absolutely no evidence that Ms. Odom was involved in criminal drug activity, so a court would likely decide that there was no reasonable suspicion to warrant detaining Ms. Odom to wait for the canine unit.
So already, if she said no to that wanting to be searched and such, that would be 18 USC Title 242, if I'm not mistaken. That's deprivation of rights under color of law. Now, as far as the, I'm not sure how the probation situation works, because I'm pretty sure she signed some paperwork for the probation thing, basically putting her back under the police agency jurisdiction, and whatever they want to do with her, they can do. But it's still real crooked. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you why in a minute.
Take my phone.
Yeah, take your phone. I don't care. That's fine. Come on. $25.54 to $25.40. You can cancel. I got consent. All right, Deputy Haycare, make sure you don't get run over, okay? Because I have faith that he would prefer to get over. All right, just hang tight, myself.
Here, the body cam footage video shows what appears to be a small baggie in Deputy Wester's hand as he puts on his gloves. It was later proven that Deputy Wester planted methamphetamine in Ms. Odom's vehicle.
Now, what kind of nerve do you have to have a body cam running on your body and still do some shit like this? In what universe is this an intelligent idea? Like, yo, what dimension does this guy live in where he can do this shit and get away with it? Like, what? Yo, you know the camera's on, right? You know they can see, nigga. You know I can see you, right? Like, like the Kevin Hart joint. You know I can see you, right? Like, bro, what are you doing, man? My man legitimately put some meth or whatever the hell it is in that bag, and my man is actively planting drugs on this lady. That's crazy to me.
Although there are no statutes in Florida that explicitly prohibit police officers from planting drugs, doing so in order to falsify charges against an individual violates many different state laws. For instance, Section 838.022 of the Florida statutes, which defines the offense of official misconduct, states that, quote, it is unlawful for a public servant to knowingly and intentionally obtain a benefit for any person, or to cause unlawful harm to another by falsifying any official record or official document. So, if Deputy Wester included information about planted drugs in a police report or another official document, he could be found guilty of official misconduct. Similarly, Section 918.13 of the Florida statutes, which outlines the crime of fabricating evidence, states that, quote, no person, knowing that an investigation by a duly constituted law enforcement agency of this state is pending or is about to be instituted, shall make, present, or use any record, document, or thing knowing it to be false. Therefore, Deputy Wester could violate this statute by presenting planted drugs as evidence against Ms. Odom, or including a false narrative in a police report. And of course, Deputy Wester also likely illegally possessed the drugs that he planted, in violation of Section 893-13 of the Florida statute.
Now, how about that? How about a lot of this stuff that they actually get, they take off other people? Like, let's say it's a situation where, like, you got a corrupt mofo that's pulling motherfuckers over or running up on them in the street and shit. Like on that movie, what is that? Training Day. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. But that movie was so freaking realistic. Like, yo, my man was running up on people and taking their shit off them and telling them to go home, keep that shit to plan on somebody later on and shit, and have him up against the wall. That is crazy, man. But like, yeah, 100%.
Although planting drugs or other evidence is highly unethical and illegal behavior, some police officers do engage in such conduct, and individuals who are the victims of planted evidence often feel powerless to fight the charges against them when it's their word against a corrupt officer's. However, public defenders and criminal defense lawyers can help citizens who are charged with crimes based on planted evidence defend themselves, so individuals should never plead guilty to criminal charges without first consulting an attorney. After planting the evidence in Ms. Odom's vehicle, Deputy Wester confronts her about the substance.
Now, make no mistake, all right? Make no mistake, when he went back to his police cruiser and he looked at her license, there was probably a note there that said that she's a drug addict or something. Like, because, you know, when they pull you over, they can put notes. So when they pull your information up, they got little notes and shit like that. You know what I mean? If you're one of them people who, like, always reciting the Constitution and stuff like that, when you get pulled over, they're going to make a note of some sort in that joint. Like, yo, be careful, this dude knows his rights or something. You know, not let alone if when we giving up the state citizen passport and shit. When we giving up that, it already tells them do not detain and such on it. So they can also add additional notes in that bad boy too. Trust me. That's why it's good to stick by the information you know and don't get into like bickering matches and nothing because you ain't gonna win. Yeah, keep a clear head.
According to the brother of David, neither he nor his brother Franklin walked.
Miss Odom.
It is yogurt, son.
I know. Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, though?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you any
No,
direct,
sir.
I'm not going to ask you any direct questions. I'm going to read you your rights first, okay? So just hang out with Deputy Hayke here.
What is it?
I have an idea. We're going to test it, though, okay? I don't know.
Oh, no, Teresa, you're going to jail.
Yep.
Join
What? Okay.
Yeah, there it goes. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Jess.
And my question is, she didn't see him do that shit, but what difference would it have made if she saw him do it or if she didn't? Because the way they carrying it is, yeah, we got one. We ready to take him to jail. Yeah, we got one. You know what I mean? So like, that's to me, that's like, what difference would it have made if she even saw him do that shit, plant that shit? She wouldn't have said nothing. They never do.
No. Do you have anything on you, Miss Odom?
I said I didn't have anything on me in the truck.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But do you have anything on your person? Is what
I
I'm
have
asking.
nothing on me to my knowledge
Okay.
at
Thank
all.
you. We're good. Okay. All right.
And I'm not trying to be over.
It did return presumptive positive for methamphetamine. Okay. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Deputy Wester conducts a field chemical test on the planted substance and informs Ms. Odom that the test was presumptive positive for methamphetamine. According to a feature in the New York Times, there are many factors that can impact the results of a roadside field test. For instance, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement reports that 21% of substances submitted to its labs as methamphetamine were not methamphetamine, and half of the false positives were not even illegal drugs. In fact, in the first 7 months of 2014 alone, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Florida reported 15 false positives for methamphetamine after deputies misunderstood which colors indicated a positive result. Environmental factors can also interfere with the field test, with cold weather slowing the development of color results and heat speeding it up. and lighting conditions on the street can prevent officers from accurately determining the color of the result strip. These issues are not limited to methamphetamine tests, as a common field test for cocaine uses a chemical called cobalt thiocyanate, which turns blue when exposed to cocaine, as well as over 80 other chemical compounds, including acne medications, common household cleaners, and methadone. Although field chemical testing is too unreliable to be used as evidence in court, it can be used to obtain probable cause to arrest individuals found with substances in their possession. However, because the vast majority of drug cases in the United States are resolved through plea bargains, prosecutors often accept guilty or no contest pleas before more accurate lab testing is conducted on the purportedly illegal substances. In other words, despite the fact that field drug tests are not admissible as evidence, a large proportion of drug convictions are based solely on the results of these tests.
That's crazy. So they know damn well, they count on people not to know their rights. So they know damn well that stuff ain't even admissible in a court of law or whatever. And they're still trying to get convictions out of people or getting people to confess, or, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Like, it's a dirty game out there. You know, you gotta be careful when you're moving around with these agents, bro, because this is how they operate.
However, it should be noted that the results of the test Deputy Webster conducted were not a false positive, since Deputy Webster actually did plant methamphetamine in Ms. Odom's vehicle.
What about my truck?
I'm gonna have to tow it, okay, since it's a narcotics felony arrest, okay?
They saying they gonna tow my truck, baby.
Here, you just want to put your phone and your sunglasses.
And be it as it may, she might be have drug problems or whatever like that. But yo, that's somebody's grandma though. Like, did you get that at first? She was saying she's a grandma and such and such. That's somebody's grandmother, man.
In your purse here, and we'll make sure all this gets to the jail.
Ms. Odom was placed under arrest and charged with felony counts of methamphetamine possession and drug paraphernalia. She was held in jail for 19 days and then pled no contest to the charges. Ms. Odom later explained why she didn't fight the charges, stating that, quote, "I just didn't think I'd be able to beat anything, being as it was law enforcement. And I wanted to get home and take care of my grandbaby. She was about to be 3 months old." In August 2018, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement initiated an investigation into Deputy Wester's conduct at the request of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Wester was placed on administrative leave on August 1st, 2018, and fired on September 10th. The Department of Law Enforcement's investigation found that Deputy Wester routinely pulled over citizens for minor traffic infractions, planted drugs inside their vehicles, and arrested them. In response to these allegations, prosecutors reviewed almost 300 cases in which former Deputy Wester was involved, and dropped charges and vacated convictions in over 100 of those cases. Ms. Odom was among those found to be affected, and on September 18th, 2018, her convictions were vacated and the charges against her were dismissed. On July 10th, 2019, Mr. Wester was arrested on numerous felony and misdemeanor charges, and on May 18th, 2021, a jury found Mr. Wester guilty of 19 out of the 67 charges against him.
All right, so that goes back to what that the United States Code that Jimmy quoted. What was it? Let me see. It was 42 USC 1983. So yeah, he got his immunity stripped and he ended up going to jail because he violated that particular code. You know what I mean? You can't do that and get caught doing it. Absolutely not.
And he was eventually convicted of,
let alone the karma implications of it. Like, bro, you got to live with that, man. You did that to people all them times, and now you in jail, and you got to live with it.
12 felonies. On July 13th, 2021, Mr. Wester was sentenced to 12 and a half years in state prison for these convictions. Mr. Wester has since filed an appeal, and as of the date of this episode, the appellate case is still pending. Over a dozen of Mr. Wester's victims have filed civil rights lawsuits over his misconduct. And on July 25th...
That's the one right there. That's the United States Code Jimmy was talking about. Yep, civil rights joint.
2019, Ms. Odom filed a federal lawsuit against Mr. Wester. As of the date of this episode, her case is also still pending. Overall, former Deputy Wester gets an F for displaying a total lack of compassion and empathy for Ms. Odom and his other victims, maliciously neglecting his duty as a member of law enforcement, and for abusing his policing authority and intentionally jailing innocent citizens. This interaction largely speaks for itself. And it goes without saying that Mr. Wester's conduct was nothing short of cruel and criminal. Although an exact motive was never established, evidence was presented that suggested that Mr. Wester wanted to secure a position on his department's drug task force, which his father, Robert Wester, had ran for approximately 15 years. Again, this motive has not been proven beyond.
There you have it. So you got a guy who has pull in a division he wants to get into that's creating false arrests in order to get his stars and stripes going up, to get his little stripes or whatever. Yep. So that's why I say when y'all out here talking to these agents, you know what I mean? Y'all better best be on y'all shit. And you saw how friendly he was, right? He lulled her into a false sense of compassion. Gotta get out the car, search that car, planted that shit on her. I'm surprised dude didn't try to delete the video though, because a lot of times them police officers will mute the audio, they'll chop the video up and stuff. That's why I was saying if any of y'all get pulled over, to go ahead and do a Freedom of Information Act when you give them that passport card. Do a Freedom of Information Act on that body cam so you can see what pops up on that damn screen, because they're not going to tell you. They're trained not to tell you. And if they delete the evidence off of that bitch or they cut it out for whatever reason, then yeah. We already know what time it is, but that's why I was saying, if that happens, man, go ahead and do a Freedom of Information Act and get that footage. Keep it private. Don't put that shit on the internet for everybody to see. Keep that shit private.
Under reasonable doubt, but if true, it demonstrates the lengths that Mr. Wester was willing to go in an effort to advance his own career at the expense of innocent citizens. Ironically enough, several of Mr. Wester's victims reported him telling them to, quote, be careful who you have around, and, quote, a lot of people you think you can trust, you can't. This is yet another officer that deserves a grade lower than an F. And this interaction highlights the important role that independent verification plays in police encounters. As for Ms. Odom, it would not be appropriate to assign a grade to an individual who was purely a victim of misconduct and not in control.
I get where he's coming from with that, but letting that motherfucker search your car and get out the car, man, that's just flat out no. So nah, I'm gonna give her an F2 after that. But yeah, she was a victim of misconduct and all that shit, but you gotta know your rights, man. Get that supervisor there. Feel me? Carl says, yeah, I'm also subscribing. Yeah, good channel, man. I like I said, I look at channels like that all the time, and I try to play out in my head if that was me in that situation, how I would move around and shit. When somebody get pulled over, I've seen situations where people have been walking down the street or sitting outside of a closed business and they run up on them. Like, bro, I'm literally sitting out front of a closed business, not bothering anybody. Y'all pulling, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Which I've been in that situation before. Gave him that passport. That shit went away. Uh-huh. What up, James? What's going on with you, man? Nicole, what up? What's good with you? Hip Hop Lit said, I heard 90% of so of money in circulation is cocaine residue, and the dogs get set off by this. I would not be surprised by that, but I don't know. Didn't even turn the camera off. Yep. It almost feels like that shit was a psyop, though, because the motherfucker didn't even bother to try to turn it. Like, did you forget you were wearing a freaking camera recording your actions, bro? You forgot you were wearing a camera? So you think it's okay to do shit like this to people on camera? What? No, man. Absolutely not. He's the palming magician who failed Magic 101. Right. That dude. Yeah, horrible. Rules for, I guess it's them and not for me. Mr. Rogers, good evening, 86 Ground Time. Yes, sir. Good evening. And that's the reason they are my sworn enemies. I do not trust them. I mean, the corrupt ones, to me, I don't have a problem. Let the record show I don't have a problem with police. I don't have a problem with police at all. I have a problem with motherfuckers who basically no injured party, no crime, giving people tickets and shit like that for dumb shit. You know what I mean? Arresting people for exercising their rights, standing with the establishment. Like every police officer in New York City right now, bro, is not on the side of any kind of righteousness because they all took the jab and they all bent the knee. So they all product of the establishment, man. So, dumb mofos you gotta watch out for because they're gonna do whatever the establishment tells them to do. They're not going, and it's supposed to be officers' discretion. So, like one of the guys I listen to, Jared, who has a Second Amendment channel, I listen to a lot. He was talking because he's an ex-police officer. I like to hear his opinion on shit. And he was like, yo, whenever a police officer arrests somebody or gives somebody a ticket or something, it's always officer's discretion. Because they'll tell an officer on one hand, they'll tell them uphold the Constitution. You take an oath to uphold both constitutions, the state constitution and the Constitution of the United States of America, right? They'll have them do that. But then they'll turn around and say, use officer's discretion. That's where they get them at. So if they hem somebody up for traveling or something like that, and they get a mean ass fucking lien put on them, and they get like a fee schedule put on their ass on their bond, you know what I mean? It's like, well, they get to wash their hands and say, well, we said officer's discretion, you know. So ignorance of the law is never any excuse for anybody. They're making jokes. Capital C, capital C, as in the first 11th amendments of the Constitution, the capital C. Foreign national, whatever you want to call it, man. Not U.S. citizen. The premium. Here's what I'm not gonna do. I will never buy the premium YouTube. I will not buy the premium YouTube at all. F that. I won't do that at all. Nah, I'm good on that. I'd rather just pause them and skip past me. Feel me? She should not have got out the car. Absolutely, man. Nah, bruh. You know what I mean? No. Supervisor, please. Thank you. At least he have a harder time planting shit. Unless if the supervisor crooked, you fucked either way. So fuck it. You might as well go for the gusto and ask for the supervisor to come out. That's definitely legal search and seizure. Well, she consented though. So I mean, it wasn't illegal because she consented. She got consent. They can do shit if you waive your rights. You know what I mean? It's just like anything. These contracts and contract law, that's an implied contract. That's a verbal contract. So if they ask to search your car and you go ahead and let them, y'all made a verbal contract with circumvent any rights you have. So nah, that's I wouldn't say illegal search and seizure. She waived her rights. Now, if she refused to get out the car and they pulled her out and searched her shit, she didn't waive any rights. They violated the Constitution. So yeah. Yo, the drug war. Let me say something. The fucking war on drugs. What was it? Reagan? Was it Reagan that started that stupid shit? Or was it Bush? One of them motherfuckers. That was the biggest fucking fail and waste of Federal Reserve fiat that I've ever seen in my goddamn life, yo. They said that more people use drugs later on as a result of the DARE program. Like, yo, on some real shit, bro. Like when I used to read those, we had those booklets back in the day. They were called DARE booklets. You know, keep in mind I was in elementary school in the early 90s. So we had these DARE booklets, and we'd always had this gump ass police officer come out to the damn middle school and talk to us about how drugs are bad and shit like this. And none of us ever it's an unspoken rule amongst the indigenous Aboriginal people, which quote unquote black people. It's an unspoken rule that you don't talk to no goddamn police for real. You know what I mean? And when we're young, that's like they drill that shit in your head. Don't be talking to no police. But them motherfuckers coming in and shit. We already looking at him with the side eye. And he over there talking about drugs, this, drugs, that, and the third. And they're doing this DARE program. And they got all these police officers getting paid to come out to these elementary schools and talk to these students. And the students really don't even, you know what I mean, respect or give a fuck about what the fuck the police officer's saying. That was the biggest waste of money ever. That was a waste of goddamn money. You had the arcade games that said winners don't use drugs back then. It was a waste of freaking money, man. It was a complete waste of money. It didn't damn work. I mean, that's why they got the all those the European. There's a lot of Europeans overdosing on what was it? What are they called? I want to say what do they call them damn things? I'm brain dead. Smack or whatever it was. They were overdosing on a lot of that stuff. They were using, they were dying, and they started to declare a pandemic. They were like, well, hold on. When it was a war on drugs, it was supposedly the quote unquote black community. You know what I mean? Only thing motherfuckers got was thrown in jail for that shit. You know, you got a bunch of people that's on crack or whatever. They getting thrown in jail. Meanwhile, the opioid epidemic, that's what it was called. But yeah, the opioid epidemic was supposed to be like a situation where they were doing everything under the sun. They even had clinics where they were using opium safely, like supervised. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of fuckery in the history of the United States Corporation. Early last year, I saw someone traveling with a Virginia tag that said UCC 4957. I don't know. Let's take a look. 42 United. All right, let's look over this. I've never actually heard of this one before, but there's so many codes. I think it's impossible to know all of them. All right, let's take a look. See what it says. U.S. Code 4957, participation of younger and older persons in carrying out this Part C. Director shall take necessary steps, including the development of special projects where appropriate to encourage the fullest participation of individuals 8 through 27 years of age and individuals 55 years of age and older in the program's activity. I have no idea what this has to do with anything, so I don't know. Like that code, I don't know why he had that on there, but I mean, I guess a private plate is a private plate. You put whatever you want on it, but I'm not sure why he put that one on there. It's 18 to 27, 55 years or older in various programs and activities under such parts. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I guess he could try to spin it and say that the activity was traveling. I don't know. Can't say. They don't care about karma. It's refreshing to hear he was found guilty in jail. Oh yeah, I just want him to get the shit beat out of him in jail and shit. You know what I mean? That'd be great. Mine was friendly also. Wait, what happened, Joe? What happened, yo? What happened, man? What happened? Tell me what happened. You said they screwed me and now I'm suing. We should really be together on this. Yeah, what happened though? Break that down, man. You got to chop that up. What went down, Joe? Such as far as I know, UCC 4957. Yeah, it might have been. He might have been typing the wrong code because I don't think that makes any sense. They aren't your friends. They're here to generate income from the city. Hey, yo, and dude, that's why whenever I'm conversating with these motherfuckers, my answers are short and sweet. All right, these days, short and sweet. Back in the day, man, when I was younger, bro, all I want to do was argue with these motherfuckers. Yo, you don't know what you're talking about. Give me, what's your badge number and shit, man? They ain't like that shit, boy. I was like young Kevin back in the day. But yeah, when you get older, you start to realize they revenue collectors, man. They there to generate revenue from the city, for the city. I wonder what accomplishments he would have done if he would have gotten the drug division. Oh my gosh. Well, let's be honest, Wolf. This dude was after that big ass paycheck. You feel me? And let's not get it confused. If he was doing that shit at a lower level, man, they break in the house and found $50,000 under a mattress. They're only reporting 10. That's gonna happen. I guarantee you that. Him and his partner that broke in that mofo, they're gonna take bricks of that goddamn that cheese, put that shit in their vest. 50 bands and shit under the damn mattress, and they only reported 10. And what the drug dealer gonna say? There was 50 under there. Hell no, he ain't gonna say shit. That's more charges. You feel me? But yeah, you're right. That's a nasty thought right there. That's a nasty thought. That's easy if you were outside, for example, not doing anything or bothering anyone. Use negative averment wording to control the conversation with the pig. Averment. What is that? You gotta break that down. What's that? Give me an example, Jimmy. Times we are in just getting worse, especially when they're behind. When we're behind on what time and the days and years are. Yeah, that's another fact too. Like we don't know exactly what year it is or what time it is. None of that stuff. You know what I mean? That's facts. It's been so badly misled. Like it's really only 364 days, 13 months. People got that messed up. Yep. 100%. Falsified 100 things when the police report came back to intimidate me over reporting a fire alarm after a scene and protect a millionaire. Okay, so was this? Did you give him the passport or what happened with that? I will be putting this into my channel at some time. I can give more details. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to, go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and jump on your channel and see what's up, Joel. Matter of fact, let me do that now. Go ahead and subscribe. Like we need to be connecting with each other, and we need to be staying in touch, man. Because at the end of the day, we gotta have each other. You know what I mean? We gotta have each other. That's why these conversations are so good, man. I like to come in and chop it up with you guys because you guys know what you're talking about. I just subscribe to your channel, Joel. And everybody, go subscribe to Joel's channel so when he puts his video out, we can all chip in on the joint. Well, I'll be buying a couple of your hoodies. Hopefully, you'll also get some t-shirts for National Code. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Someone did repeatedly assault and took my phone. Repeated assault and took my phones, and the fire alarm didn't work when I ran for my life. And they literally did 100 falsifications, Fourth Amendment violation. Sheesh. Many rights taken away. I'm trying to find the best way to show my rights have been taken. 414 just joined my phone. No, I didn't have a national status. No, that's part of the reason right there. You property at that point, man. You haven't made any declaration to separate yourself. They see you as property. That's not on there now. We need to be undivided. Yes, sir. I agree. I have a lot of help to give anyone who needs it, and I still want to gain more knowledge. Yes, sir. We all here to learn, man. Facts. But yeah, it sounds like they big jerked you around that bad boy. Damn. Hope that works out for you. All right, boom. So let me go ahead and drop this link. We running. Well, I ran late anyway, so I ran a half hour over. I usually at an hour I drop the link in there so people can jump in. Here's the link here. So if y'all want to hop in this bad boy, there is the link you click. Oh yeah, let me show y'all this real quick too. I actually sent this to the Bad Wolf the other day. I don't know if you saw it or not. Let me see. All right, check this out right here. Now look. All right, check this out. Special passport issuance agency. Special passports. You know, I talked to a guy the other day, and he was saying a lot of people's statuses aren't being corrected because they sending the passports applications out to general processing. And he was saying that it's got to be sent to special processing. But I don't know, because I heard the special processing center was in Pennsylvania, but then I also heard, I'm looking right here that says it's in DC. So I'm not sure about that. But this is what I will say. Check this out. The Special Passport Issuance Agency serves to those who need to obtain diplomatic, official, and no-fee passports. No-fee regular tourist passports are issued for such organizations such as the Peace Corps, USO, and the Red Cross. No-fee military dependent passports are issued to dependents of the military traveling abroad on official duties. Then it's got the letter right here to the Special Passport Agency, special issuance. So I wonder if you wrote him a letter and asked him, you wrote him a letter and said, what is the extent of what they do, whatever, and what kind of what's the difference between what they do and regular processing. I probably end up doing something like that. But yeah, that is some information right there. Now there's something else here. Somebody said something about a stolen passport. Trying to find it. Hold on. Oh yeah, I see what it is. Hold up. All right. All right, so it says right here, you can replace a lost passport much in the same way you can acquire a new one. The difference is you will need to report the loss and fill out a form. Now, I know Kevin was saying something about his passport got destroyed. There was actually something on here for that too. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? There was something on here about a stolen passport. All right, so if anybody has your passport card, right, we're gonna do a little bit of homework. Go grab your passport card real fast. Go grab your passport card real fast. Now we talked about the chips inside the passport. It is RFID, which is radio frequency identification, something I think. But anyway, if you put a flashlight directly behind your passport, directly behind it, you can actually see through the passport a little bit, and there's a chip that's shaped like a little castle inside the passport card. For those of you who didn't know, pretty sure most of us knew this already, but a lot of people don't even. They just got the card, didn't even know. But yeah, there's actually like a little castle device on the inside of it. It's got an RFID technology already in it. So it says right here, passport card, a smaller, cheaper, and more convenient alternative to the traditional passport book, is not for everyone. Who is it for? How do you obtain one? What does it look like? These and other frequently asked questions are answered below. A passport card serves the same purpose as a passport book. It attests to your U.S. citizenship and your identity. Now, we all know that they just gloss over the fact that, being a non-citizen, national, or state citizen, and any of that other stuff. They're not going to specifically mention that. So it says the card is a fully valid passport, just like the traditional passport book. However, It is a similar in size to a credit card or a driver's license. It contains a vicinity read radio frequency identification RFID chip containing all of your pertinent information. What pertinent information is that though? And is there an RFID reader that can be actually purchased in order to see what the deal is with that? I wonder, you know. And it says right here, it shows you how it looks below are images, the front and back of the card before the applicant's photo and data are printed on them. So it says, what is the passport card for? The passport card was created to facilitate the frequent travel of Americans living in border communities. You know, border communities can mean a lot of different things. That can mean counties, that can mean states, you know what I mean? That's a border community technically, because it's got a border for Virginia versus Maryland and DC versus Virginia and all that stuff. It can only be used for land and sea travel. Land travel. All right, and it says between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, the Caribbean, and Bermuda. So there you have it, man. It's right there. It actually says right on the back of the card too that you know, it's actually valid for land and sea and air travel domestically, pretty much. So if you get if you get in a situation where they're like, well, why don't you have a license? Well, it says right here, valid for land travel. Boom, it's right on the back of it. All right, so I have in the green room. About to welcome in my man Zakiba. What's going on with you, man?
How's it going? How's it going?
What's up, man? Talk to me. What we got?
Passports actually is pretty funny. I lost my passport in a car cleaning company, a detail company, and I didn't know it had a RIDF chip or whatever in it. And so when I used it the next time after that, you know, usually you can scan your passport and it instantly pops up when you're at the airport and stuff like that. I had to manually type it in. So I think whatever happened to that chip, it was disabled because it went through like a washer, pressure washer, something.
Yeah.
It's not working on mine no more.
That heat destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
The heat destroyed it.
Which, I mean, it works for me. Like, I'm fine with that. But I noticed that almost immediately. Like, before, I was able to scan everything. And then now, like, people are looking at it, like, what's going on? So that.
Yeah.
New.
Yeah. The RFID technology sensitive to heat. So don't be out there putting your shit in the microwave and shit like that, you know? Or leaving it in a dryer or whatever, man. That's not a good thing, you know. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a 100% thing. So you said you were able to get it back and all that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, someone reported it to the police station. I went to the police station. It was a weird process. They're like, "Can you verify that it's you?" I don't have it on me, but my passport is literally me with all my hair, facial features, and all. I'm just looking at them with a straight face, like.
Well, you know what it is. They're not asking you. Is the image on the card you? They're asking you, are you the identity? It's weird shit. Like they'll ask you when you get pulled over. They ask you, is this you? Like I've been in a situation where I've given a police officer my driver's license right when I was younger and shit, and then they'll take the driver's license and they'll say, is this you? So you say, yeah. You just said you first off, you dishonored yourself because you just said you're a fucking ID, which is a lie. Second off, they'll ask you, what's your address or something like that. They're trying to get you to contract with them, even though you already contracted when you gave them the driver's license itself. But yeah, it's that weird shit. You know what I mean? But yeah,
So then,
are you asking me, am I an ID, sir?
I usually say like, what's on the card? Like, can you not understand what's on the card and stuff like that? I usually just say that, and they're like, "Oh, okay," and they just walk away. I haven't had an issue with the cops in years. I think I'm on that do not detain list or whatever. I don't do anything reckless or anything like that, but I haven't gotten pulled over. Nope, for a few years now. So.
Nice. You got the private plates, or you riding with the other plates on there still?
I haven't. I'm not even done. I still got to go back to Philadelphia to get the authenticated birth certificate.
Yeah, good luck with that, man. I heard in Philadelphia they cracking down on heads out there, man.
What happened to me when I went in? I used Haiti for the apostille for the paperwork, and they kept giving me like an postal seal. And I'm looking at the lady. I'm like, I don't want the seal. I want this to be certificate. I want the certificate for this authenticated. And she looked at me. It's like, okay. And then brings out, I'm looking at her bring out the apostille paper and is about to staple it to my birth certificate. I'm like, that's not what I'm asking for. And she like gave me a big fit, like, you know, this is just what I have to do. And I'm just like, I'm not paying you. And it was like $30 or something like that for something that I don't want. She stapled it right in front of me. I'm like, I'm not, give me all my stuff back. I'm not paying you. Walked
So
out.
you took the money back?
Oh yeah, I know. I didn't even give it to her. I was just like, I'm not paying for this.
Damn. They like that. So she straight up didn't even say nothing to you. She just stapled the apostle.
Looked me dead in my eyes, stapled it. I was just like, yo, you are weird.
That's crazy, man. They be crazy.
But I did do the US the UCC one. I still got a copyright, you know, all my stuff and whatnot. But I did that, changed my name, and so I'm almost through the process. Just got to go through that other process. I got it certificated on the city level. Now I got to go through the state and then go into
federal.
Yeah. I went to the DC. I went so I had the plan of going from Philadelphia then to Harrisburg and then went straight to DC all in one go, like $50. And I went to the passport agency or whatever, and it was like federal. This is like when you had to wear masks and stuff, and they were like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I wanted to get my birth certificate authenticated." And they're like, "All right, let's pass you through." And then they noticed that what happened? Something happened, and I think after they did some reading on my passport, because I brought my passport as an ID, they didn't let me in for some reason.
Oh shit! Get out of here.
So
was this before or after you it got fried?
After. So I gotta redo something. I'm not stressing though, because I'm in good standing. Haven't been in jail.
No, they saw your status. That's what happened. They saw that status. They probably put the numbers in. It was like, oh no, fuck that. No, don't let him in here.
I don't know, man. It's cool though. This whole thing is interesting because it was today on the job. I was plowing because out here in Boston it's all snow everywhere. And this one guy was talking about Indian status, like he's with a tribe and all that stuff. I was like, oh, word! So you know about the straw
Your
man,
signal
right?
is horrible, man. You sound like a robot or something.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's your signal. Check your bars on your phone, bro.
Hold on. How about now?
That's a little better.
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi right now. So
say it again.
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, it's chopping your speech up now. It's hard to hear you. Bad Wolf says they aren't the same. The card is limited to national travel. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So don't be trying to think you can go to freaking Japan or something like that with the passport card, because you're gonna be out there, motherfucker, looking stupid when you can't come back in.
I got the I just got the passport. Something simple, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I always recommend people to get both of them just so you can have them if you need them.
That's the plan. I didn't have. I got the passport when they had like 8 years. You can have it for 8 years. So my joint don't even expire till 2025. So I'm sitting real nice right now.
Interesting. Ken says, hi to you from me in Norway. Respect. I'm going to say thank you so much, Ken. Appreciate it, man. Shouts out to you, too. James Levitt says, yeah, they're getting you to admit the straw man is you. That's who they had jurisdiction over. Yep, 100%. They ask you shit like, what's your address? Is this you? Like, stuff like that. Easy work. Tie it down. That's consent to contract. The address question is to perfect the jurisdiction that you are in fact domiciled in a federal territory. Boom. It's a vessel. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny though. It's funny too because there was this guy at work and he was talking. He's a part of a tribe, like an Indian tribe and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, we got our land back, this, that, and the third." I'm like, "Oh, so he knows some stuff." I was like, "All right, let me just give him one basic question." I was like, "You know about the straw man, right?" And he looked at me, tilted his head. The straw man. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I said, "He was like,
There's
what's
levels
that?"
to
I
this,
was like,
yo.
"Don't even worry about it."
There's levels to this, man. It's levels. You can hear more folks talking out their neck, and shit, as soon as you start talking about the ends allegiance and stuff, they're looking at you like, "What?" And, you don't know as much as you think
Yeah.
you do. So Chris Chavaria says, so we don't want the apostle seal. No, we want the
No.
authentication. We don't want apostle. They're not going to give you the authentication. If you go in that office out in Philadelphia and you get the authentication out that office, you a bad motherfucker because ain't nobody been able to do that shit yet. They always try to give them the apostle seal.
So I've learned that just trying different people who aren't in just like countries that aren't a part of this I'm missing there's a whole bunch of countries that are on the list and are off the list, and the ones that are off the list you can get the authentication from. The ones that are on it you get the apostle seal on. And from what Chris is saying, the apostle seal is it doesn't give you access to going up to federal. It just gives you for the state and the country that you're trying to go to. That's it. It stops you there. And they're not going to tell you that because they're just going to take your money and like keep on about their day. So I'm going to go back, I think, this year and try 2 times because I'm not, I don't need to be in there doing all this extra stuff. I'm gonna try Taiwan because I know they aren't on the list. I tried Haiti already. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna try that. Then maybe Iran. I believe that's another one that's not on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do my due diligence. Just
Definitely. I don't think it's that though, man. I think they're just trying to hassle you for it. I don't even think it's. I don't even think it's the fact that you didn't use a non-Hague country. I think because I've heard of people doing places I know for a fact that are non-Hague. You know what I mean? And they walk out of there with an apostle seal. Like, bro, they really on some shit out there, boy. They like the agents or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, they did say that there's something like I remember you did a live stream that New York is different.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is different. There's certain cities that have an unspoken truth about them that is not known to the public. And so,
they were saying that Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth, right, or something like that.
I believe so. Oh, okay. So I tried to get my status corrected with Asir the Duke of Tears. And this is a well-known. He's like on knowledge terms with Yusufel, and I told him, yeah, I'm born in Philadelphia. He goes, oh, you're from there, and he didn't really go into it. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be real hard to go over there. So I know that if I go a second time, I make sure all my paperwork's in order. I still have. If I can find it, I can't find it right now. I'm still moving. I have the piece of paper they give you because they don't want you to do it in person now. They're just going to do it over mail. I'm like, nah, I'm going to do it in person because if that's a tactic to make you not only wait, but you'll get back not what you wanted.
Exactly. That's what they want. All this stuff. They want all this stuff to go digital. I called the damn. I called the USCIS last week. I couldn't get to a motherfucker like a human. I literally had to talk to computers and machines and stuff. I'm like, nah, bro, I got questions. He's like, no, sir, you ain't asking us no questions. Because when you start asking them about definitions and stuff like that, man, that ain't no human gonna be able to give you no answer on that. So they like, you don't need to talk to no humans. Just talk to these computers. Tim says, my passport has a maze-looking chip in it or whatever that is. Yep,
that's it.
My passport ID card has a maze effect in it as well. Yep. For the love of proper diction, say it right. It's a vessel, not a straw man. I mean, vessel, straw man, ins legis. You know what I meant. Right, Jimmy? I mean, did you just change your logo? What was that all about? You just changed your logo, Mr. I thought you was the Halo guy, right? Hague versus non-Hague. Hague Convention and non-Hague conventions, and the list has changed. Oh, really? They changed it? Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm asking for authenticated. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the way to move. You can also use a Bible too. You can also use a Bible. You can use a Bible as proof of birth because that's what they used back in the day. You got your mom and dad present, and then use 3 witnesses, and then signature, date. I think thumbprints, red thumbprints should work also. And then that should be able to be used like a common law birth certificate. That's what they used to do back in the day. They recorded marriages and births in the family Bible. They would pass it down. Eventually it changed. It would be people became dependent on the state and started using, their documents and such. But yeah. Tony Cooper says Jamaica, 100%.
Okay,
Another one, Egypt. And yes, the list changes. Check with the Department of State for updated list. Yes, sir. Politically incorrect. In Reed Boland's 1912 135 NW 164 Supreme Court of Wisconsin, every taxpayer is a Sister K trust having sufficient interest in preventing the abuse of the trust to be recognized in the field of this. That goes back to what we were saying about the 1099As, because the taxpayer, as far as that goes, is a Sister K trust and such. That's what the 14th Amendment is, the 14th Amendment citizen. That's the taxpayer. That's the U.S. citizen. And it is indeed the Sister K trust and such, and you're the beneficiary pretty much. So yes, that does go back. It does make perfect sense. And the actually, if you look at your state constitution, it should name your public officers as trustees. It says it right. I know it says it in the Maryland one. I can't remember what article it's under, or what section it's under, but I do specifically remember in reading that they're the public servants are trustees. The judges, the police, they all trustees basically, 100%. So yeah, he's right, 100%. 1099A, the theory holds up, but I don't fuck with it. So yeah, whatever. Move at your own risk. Brandon Rogers says, back in October, I used Jamaica as my country, and the Secretary of State in my home state gave me an apostle. I used Jamaica in 2018 for a previous certificate of live birth, and he got the authentication. Okay. So
It's
Jamaica
perfect.
must have changed then. Jamaica must have changed. They gave you they shafted you, huh? Chris says there are 4 Commonwealth states: Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Massachusetts. It's got to be a key to that, though, with the Commonwealth thing, man. It's a piece we missing with that. We already know what time New York is on. New York is basically owned by every other country in the world because that's where the stock exchange is,
Where
So
all the wealth is at.
yeah,
That's where most of the wealth is. Delaware is where all the credit cards at.
Word. True. Since we can't travel to other planets yet, we need our own Death Star. Rename it Planet Growth Private with all the amenities to travel within some planet just as big as the Death Star. Okay. Tony says Rule 220.
Rule 220. I'm unfamiliar with that. What's Rule 220?
I'm already on it.
Okay. I'm about to learn something today. Tony be spitting stuff too.
Yeah, Tony get busy.
Very knowledgeable.
Here we go. Yeah. Birth certificates. Yep. Birth certificates. Here we go. All right, this is Minnesota Court Rules, Rule 220. The Registrar of Titles is authorized to receive. Yeah, this is what Courtney was talking about a while back. The Registrar of Titles is authorized to receive for registration of memorials upon any outstanding certificate the title of official birth certificate pertaining to a registered owner name and said certificate of title showing the date of birth, said registered owner, providing there is attached to said birth certificate an affidavit of an affiant who states that she is familiar with the facts recited, stating that the party named in said birth certificate is the same party as one of the owners named in the certificate of title. And that therefore, thereafter, the register of title shall treat said registered owner as having attained the age of majority at 18 years after the date shown by says certificate. So this is the same thing that Minnesota Rule 220. That's the same thing that Knowledge World Media was talking about. He was real heavy on that. But yeah, that's 100% facts.
Oh, ooh, off-topic question. Favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
My favorite Dragon Ball Z character. I'm gonna have to say it's two of them, yo. Like Future Trunks was my dude, yo. He was hard body, and I had to say Goku just off the fact that he is who he is, yo. Really, but I mean, Future Trunks was my dude. With I'm gonna tell you what, it's a close second though. I'm gonna have to say TN because that dude, even though he wasn't as strong as everybody else, he was still a badass. And then Piccolo too, because Piccolo had some memorable moments, man.
Okay, okay. I would say for me, it's Broly.
Yeah,
Not
Broly
the
is
new one.
power,
Not the
old
new
school.
one. Old school.
Yeah.
He needed the whole gang to gang up on him, and they really couldn't hold him.
100%.
I when I was watching it when I was young, that showed me. I don't know why it was so like cool to me, but just him blowing up planets, everything. Just his whole fighting style was so
He was a badass, 100%.
Yeah,
Broly was a
him,
bad dude.
old school Vegeta. I liked Vegeta when he got Majin. Majin Vegeta was one of my favorite ones. When he like realized what he truly turned into. I don't really like any of the new stuff. The animation's bad.
Yeah, I stopped watching when it came to Super and stuff like that. I watched a few episodes of it, but I couldn't really get with it. I know the best way to watch Dragon Ball Z is abridged, honestly. The Team 4-Star joint, you ever watch
Oh
that?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. The audio, they put all kinds of funny commentary in there. I like anime, yeah, so anime is pretty cool. But yeah, the Team 4-Star joint was hilarious. 100%. Oh, man, Michael says from Star Wars is too crowded down here. Too many egos following old blueprints to wipe people down. The growth is stagnated. This would be one step in that direction. It was said my man is literally talking about colonizing another planet and calling it the Death Star.
It's funny he says that too, because white people are out. They're going to be out in our lifetime, extinct.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I saw the video they put on there.
Somebody was saying something about the sun or something like that. They were saying something about the sun radiation wave changing or something. I don't know. Man, politically incorrect says tax definition a contribution imposed or a gift gained by deceit. Facts. Minnesota rule, age of majority. Yep, that's what he was talking about. I sent that with my LOBC.
LOBC.
Goku Ultra Instinct. Yo, let me tell you something. Ultra Instinct Goku is a badass, yo. For real. He's a bad dude, yo.
It's cool, but if we were to compare it to old school Broly, I still think he would be better. I still think because Goku needed the power of all the Saiyans, and then I don't know how many planets to like get his spirit bomb or whatever. He needed help. So just him alone, he can't hold him.
Yeah, that was evident, man. And I thought it was crazy how he punched him in the chest and ripped his chest open that day. And I thought that was bullshit. Like, yo, ain't no way a punch from this dude in the chest is gonna rip his chest open. That's some bullshit. You know.
I can't see any of these chats. Let's see.
Let me drop this link in here one more time in case anybody else wants to hop in. Because boom. Carl says everything is prepaid. Contact the Treasury Department via 1099. You know what? I actually heard people were doing shit through Puerto Rico. They were saying that the Treasury's in Puerto Rico or something like that, and Puerto Rico basically means land of wealth or something like that. They were saying that the definition of Puerto Rico was like land of wealth or something like that. And they were saying the United States keeps the wealth in Puerto Rico or something. I don't know. There's a whole lot of theory to that. But here's the link if you guys want to hop in. Go ahead and jump in real quick, and we could chop up some more game.
I'm not versed on the 1099A form. I just got to get through this authentication first. Once I get that, then I'll work on the trust. Then I'll work on no, I think it's just the trust. That's the next part. Then the estate. I got some small stuff I got to do. But just give it time. I'm all about it. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a lot of information, man. For real, there's a lot of information out there, so you gotta be careful not to get lost in all of it because you start doing different processes, never finish one and stuff like that. You just end up with a giant question mark on your forehead. So yeah, 31 USC 3123. Oh snap! We got everybody's favorite in the green room, my man Tony.
What's up, y'all?
What's up with you?
Same. Oh, let me turn my other iPad off. You said good afternoon. I'm in New York.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm tired. I've been shoveling for like the 48 hours, man.
So your pockets is fat from that fiat.
Oh yes, sir.
What you gonna do with it? You gonna build your credit up?
I am going to. What was I going to do? I was going to get some courses for my business, and once I'm trying to just clear out my debts, make sure everything's all.
You got to do that for your your straw man. You got to you could play on both sides. You don't really have to drop the straw man.
Mm-hmm.
I play on both sides. I do both sides. I got the EIN for the business publicly and the trust. Oh yeah, what I did, because United States don't do it. No, Washington D.C. don't do it no more. Because you know why? It's a foreign entity. So therefore, they're allowing the states to do it. Your own state. I have to send it to Your Honor in New York, in Albany. I had to send it to Honorable Caesar Perez. He had to do my joint, and I used Jamaica because I really went down to the city to do it. I did that firsthand in Sudi, even though they're grimy down there. But it's hard to, yeah.
How they try to do you, man?
just. Oh no, I went down. Like when I went down there, and then when I went in, I forgot about the X-ray because it's been so long that I didn't get locked up or been in court and shit. That was in my 20s. I'm like 40s, my 40s now. So that was weird. I had my girl and my daughter when I was authenticating everything with them, and I forgot I had the money on me. I had like $40,000 cash in the bag. So when I put the bag in the thing, they all looked at me, and I was like, "Oh shit! I forgot they X-rayed the bag." So she's like, "They see the money. You forgot." I said, "I'm not leaving the money in the bins where I left in the Chinese because there's a Chinese. They park your car. You know, if I'd have left that money would not been there.
That shit gone, bro.
I put that shit right in the bag." And I walked with it. You know what I'm saying? We all walked. And then I went right in there. Then the next thing I know, we get in there. The lady was like, "What you doing here?" I guess they called her and said that kid got a lot of money in the bag. So after we did it, it's how you talk to them old ladies out here. You got to be like real nice. You go in there mad cocky and stupid, they're going to shit on you. Like I just spoke like, "Hey, how you doing?" There was a lot of parolees in there though, because they had to get their birth certificate done or whatever. Because a lot of people just came home from jail, so I expect to see that. Because they ain't got no identification, and I'm sure nobody want to walk around with a jail ID, because then you're gonna really get shitted on. Oh, you didn't go into that. You didn't go into that when y'all strengthen your shit. You could bankrupt, call bankruptcy to get out of jail, but I ain't gonna go into that because that's another thing. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? Consultant know what I'm talking about. Speak to consultant on that A6. He know what I'm talking about. Bankruptcy, because the court is known as what?
It's a bank.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, if you want to be a real secure party creditor, look into also you got to get a bank registration number. If you're a private bank, but I ain't gonna tell you, I'm just gonna do it because everybody like to talk shit, so you gotta do it.
They start skipping you out when you talk too much, man. When you start talking about going in that detective, they start skipping you out.
He clear as day right here. He clear as day. I
Hell
don't know what
yeah,
you're talking about.
They was removing his audio a little bit when he started talking about going in that detective.
Yeah,
We
yo,
don't
you
know what he
gotta
about to
strengthen
say.
it. Remember when me and you talked about on the phone, yo? You gotta be careful for that, yo, because once you get that done, remember when you authenticating the birth certificate, what do you think you're doing when you take possession of yourself?
Correct.
You're putting them on notice. You're putting them on notice that you got interest in the deed and the title. You can't you can own it. You can't own it, but you have interest in it. You understand? Because they created the number, that's their shit. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what y'all gotta understand. That's their shit. You just knowing how to play. It's like you play Monopoly. It's the same shit, yo. I was good at Monopoly, so I understand. It's like how you win the game, you bankrupt everybody. That's how you win the game.
Right.
So why do you think? What do you think's going on now? If I play with you and I know the rules inside out, who you think's gonna win? The ones that just roll in the dice and play and go around the world, but with
Right,
no
yeah.
ethics, you're gonna lose, and you're gonna wonder why am I buying all these houses and hotels, and I'm waiting for one of you clowns to land on it, and boom, gotcha. Gotcha. I even created rules to loan shark players in the game. That's how it really got. I had to buy another game to add money because I was doing. You start learning how these people play. Read them bank books about how the bank. You know what I'm saying? That's how you learn how to do your own bank. Learn how they play. You know what I'm saying? You got to read their rules to create your own, right?
100%.
But a lot of people just sit there like, oh, because a lot of this shit is they tell you how to do all this shit. It's right on the IRS site and all that, but nobody chooses to read. You know what I'm saying? You really don't have to pay. Like, come on, if a person don't know it, this is what people doing. It's kind of foul, but you know, some people is charging off their laziness, and then you look at it, you could do it yourself. Did you do it? Did y'all look into that revocation of election yet?
I'll look into it.
Yeah, that you talk about that on the private side, not on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we ain't gonna go into that because that's a
You
whole nother.
already know what
Yeah.
that means.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Don't believe nobody that quote you this shit because they don't know about that. But you need to look into after you do that. Hit up the state Secretary of State again and request for a bank registration number. All right.
Boom.
How can you do business with a bank? How can you do business? You're an unincorporated bank, right?
Yeah.
If you say you incorporated, then you're down with the list. That's like a Hague country and a no Hague country. You got to get down with us. Then you lose. Once you get down with us, you lose certain rights, right?
All right, so check this out. This is 31 USC 3123. Payment of obligations and interest on the public debt. The faith of the United States government is pledged to pay in legal tender principal and interest on the obligations of the government issued under this chapter.
Did you also A6 read up that every time a secured party creditor discharges a debt, that also slims down the big
The
debt?
national debt. I
I
heard
don't
that.
know why a lot of these everybody yell gurus. I shouldn't say gurus. These old school teachers need to tell a lot of these people that.
I know Yusuf El was saying that. He was saying that when you
Yeah,
discharge the debt, it actually comes off.
he knows, but there's other dudes out here talking and they ain't telling. You know what I mean?
Shit, you hear about that guy that tried to discharge the whole national debt off his negotiable instrument? They came and locked his ass up. It was like, first
Yeah,
off,
because he's ODing.
yeah.
You trying to say everybody's your slave? What's wrong with you? You claimed
He
everybody's birth
tried to
certificate?
discharge the whole
Yeah,
national
yo,
debt.
this dude is crazy. He basically trying to say we all under him and he's the king of it. I don't remember giving him a power of attorney to pay nothing for me. That's why they came and got his ass.
Yep.
What are you basically saying, fool?
People doing too much, man. That's what goes back to people doing too much. 100%.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Every state is different though. I'm in the hardest state. Cause I was like, yo, you know how I had to realize I sent them clowns already about $200 to realize I forgot that they already been exposed as a entity. You know what I mean? They're not. We got traders in the middle of this damn country, yo. Shit's crazy.
It's crazy,
So all
man.
our grandfathers that went to war for nothing. That standing out there help me.
Yep.
I need help side. They was vets. That's his weird. I'd be mad too. I come back, you got the enemy right in the middle of the country.
Hey, chess pieces, bro. I'm telling you.
I used to work in that United Nations, yo. They are cokeheads. I had to weld the down on 45th and 6th. Yo, bro. I was working down there when they found the bomb next door. I was so mad. I wanted to beat my boss up. I was welding. He ain't gonna tell me. I'm like, why is the news and everybody in front of the thing? They like, yo, I looked at him. I said, yo, who told you I want to die welding?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I knew there was a bomb in there, nigga. I would have ran the hell up out of there. I'm sitting there welding. We all working, yo. And I'm one of the main welders. So I'm like, yo, the union, I don't give a damn about no $65, $50 an hour. You crazy, nigga?
Right.
I was so mad at that white boy. I wanted to choke his cokehead ass out. But you
That's
know you
crazy.
can't talk shit to them niggas because mom owns half the union, yo. You'll get
Boom.
blackballed and shit on your ass.
Boom.
So
Yep.
however you put it, man, yeah, you get money, but they still can cap your ass.
Yep.
Yeah, I did it. I was getting paid $3,000 for to help them do a driveway. One of their friends, Italian friends, driveway. $3,000 cash, nigga. Don't run your mouth, kid. I like your little black ass. Okay, sir. I'm not black though, but okay, sir.
Right. Take the fiat. Keep it pushing, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a take
Yo, you
note on
gotta
what you
read
said though.
books. Read books and don't let no one discourage you. One thing, if somebody sit here and try, that's like you tell me something you got going on, and I say, oh, that ain't gonna work. What do you think I'm doing, yo? I'm crashing your verbal. You giving out your laws of attraction, and I'm throwing shit on your shit. What type of shit is that? I'm supposed to, yo, may your travels be the best for you. You know what I'm saying? Did you
Isn't that
know?
why they say be mindful of your company?
Hmm. That's why I have no friends now. My
Straight
girl's
up.
my best friend, bro.
Yo, Tony,
Yo.
what you think about the convoy in Canada with all those trucks? You think
Ooh,
that's real?
yeah.
It's a lot of talk in the community. Niggas are saying that shit is a psyop, yo. Some
Yo,
people say
bro.
it's a psyop.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm 6 hours away from because I told you I'm in Dutchess County. I'm 6 hours away from Canada. I'm 4 hours away from Allerton, PA. Yo, what's going on with that? Remember, a lot of stuff, drugs come across that Canada Bridge. Not just food and stuff. Drugs also. You know, half the weed that comes into New York City comes from that way too. Not just
Canada,
from
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people got their hands in shit.
Hmm.
You see how they got the borders open now? You know how much Mexican coke is coming out here? Oh my god, yo.
Yep.
Everybody out here is like not even just open off the shot, but walking zombies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
got like temperatures back in the 90s and shit. January, because I'm a January baby. I turned 44 Thursday that passed. But yeah, you ain't gotta worry about me. I'm not that kid be running around fucking with your daughter because I look young. Yo. But anyways, um, lot the shelves of food and stuff is like limited out here now. Starting
Crazy,
to
bro. It's
show.
out here too, man. Yeah. Yeah.
I stopped
Well,
eating meat, chicken, and all that, so it ain't affecting me. I eat potatoes. I got my teenage daughter and my wife on the same level. It's like she's like, yo, I don't be feeling hungry. You're not supposed to feel hungry. Remember, a lot of the stuff is GMOs. You know what I'm saying? So look for the fruit and stuff to say start with numbers 9. Always remember
Yeah.
that.
Nah. Yep.
A lot of fruits ain't organic as you think no more. When you see a watermelon with white seeds,
oh my gosh, it's supposed to be black.
yo, bro, I'm a 78 baby. That's exactly what I said.
Those
Oranges don't even taste the same no more, yo.
No,
And
they
I used to
don't,
eat
man.
that, yo.
Oranges
This
don't
shit
taste the
tastes
same at
weird.
all.
when I
Yeah.
grew up, it was always black, and then because I'm born in '94, so I've seen the
Yeah,
whole
so you
change of
know.
how the food, everything. It was black
Everything changed.
seeds, and then for some reason, all the seeded grapes became seedless, and all the fruits became seedless. And I'm just like, this don't
Yeah,
fit
but
right.
we're from the era where your grandmother owned a house and she showed you, even in the city, how to use your backyard. Because my
Mm.
grandmother had me and my brother at 4 or 5 years old doing this shit. And my family's from North Carolina, Plymouth farmland. So every time I visit down there, I'm like, why I gotta get up? They was like, you gotta get up too. We don't give a damn you single number. Oh, you little punks gotta get up and go out there and 5 in the morning and do everything and go with the eggs from the chick. I was so mad. And we had llamas and them shit spit on you. Used to be
Llamas.
scared. Yeah, yo. When you went, yeah, you had horses and all that down North Carolina is wholly different, man. It's Indian
So,
land.
Chris says rich port, Puerto Rico. That's what it is. Rich port, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but did you
Politically
know
correct.
why you think that U.S. got their hands on Puerto Rico? Because it's rich.
100%.
Why you
Yeah.
think they got all them clowns out here in New York? You see what's going on out here? They say it's affecting the so-called black culture, even though black is not real, but they talking about all the Indians, whatever's out here, because they're trying to make the white people like it goes back to the science of since we call that census. I never even did it, yo.
The
I
census.
I
Yeah.
never. They send people to knock on the door. If you don't know who I am, you don't need to know who I am. I don't get SSI. I don't get welfare. I don't get
100%.
nothing. So you don't need to be knocking on my goddamn door for nothing. Don't ask
Right.
me shit. If you don't know my name, then you ain't the police, the feds, whatever you want to call it. Don't be fucking knocking on this door. I'm not giving no free information for shit. Even for that, did you take that shot? Hell no. I know what that shit is. No, I'm not taking it.
Right.
All
Come on, man.
my family did it. I didn't do it. I
That's
don't
the
trust
sad
it.
part about it. Most of us did,
If
man.
you did do it, don't get mad if I could fly and I'm spitting on y'all, man.
No, I ain't do it. I
That shit inside you ain't junk DNA. I'm just putting you on the game, man.
Facts. Politically Incorrect says that was too blunt. I wonder what he's talking about. Sean says Puerto Rico has different tax laws, so American industries left to build their companies.
But
there.
US still own their ass.
They
Thank
still own them, though.
you.
Yeah, it's
So
still.
you
It's
ain't
still
saying
that's-
shit.
they still got
Your
their
land
hands
is
all on that
owned,
shit, bro.
homie.
100%.
What are you talking about? When the
Can you
drug
speak?
dealers was out here in New York killing people, what do you think they was doing running to Puerto Rico? They snatched Puerto Rico. So now when they go out there, they can extradite your punk ass right back here. Because
Yep.
what you doing? We own y'all. Why you think they sent that
Even the Virgin
storms
Islands
over
too.
there?
About
They
the
sent
Virgin
the
Islands,
storms
all of
over there, yo. They used that what you call it, that weather machine and washed them niggas like they did Texas. How you gonna sit there have it right over where they got the most guns at? Just sitting there raining for 3 weeks, raining. Come on, man.
Yep.
Where they do that at?
100%. You right
Come on,
about
yo.
that.
Then you pick up the ice and you try to burn it. It's not melting. Come on, yo. What is this shit?
Yep.
Y'all better wake up, man.
Right about that too.
You better wake up. Stop
Hey,
participating in these
Tony,
little
you guys talk
rituals.
about the weather.
Can
They
you speak?
gridded up the
Can you speak
whole
on the
sky.
private individual banker?
Banker. Yeah, I was just about to.
Oh, somebody
Yeah,
want to learn
I want you
game?
to speak on a private individual banker, but he ain't gonna be able to say a whole lot because it's private.
Man, it's private. I can't do that, and you know that's against too, because I already did a couple of things, so I can't really say shit. I could be
You can't
held
say a
for
whole lot
being
about that.
dishonorable.
That's private. That's private. So
I did a
Jimmy
couple
says,
of.
now we on with the N word. Wow, I say it sometimes.
Yeah, I say it
say
too.
it.
Do you know what? Do you know what it means? Do you know there's a tribe in Africa? Before you
Yeah.
start talking shit, Jimmy. Jimmy, can you stand in the sun like me, Jimmy? You see my complexion, Jimmy. I could talk that shit. What? You know? Can you stand in the sun long as me?
Jimmy seems like a troll now.
Yeah, Jimmy trolled me one time off an old video, and I had to get in his ass when I got him alive.
Yo,
Read some more books, Jimmy. You probably got a beer belly, Jimmy. I'm 44.
Let me get to the next comment. Left hand, right hand. 15 USC
False or
1692
misleading
E. False or
representation.
misleading representations.
Pull that one up.
I'm gonna pull it up now. 15.
False or misleading, because a lot of people don't want to. You gotta look up the definitions if you don't
What's the
understand.
code? Read it off to me.
It's 15 U.S. Code 1692E. False
Also,
or
is
misleading.
47 Laws of Power a good book to start?
Unless you're trying to be a 10%er and rob the blind, deaf, and dumb. Depends on what you're using that book for, yo. Because it's to manipulate the poor.
Boom.
If you really
This
look
is a
at
good
it.
one right here. Look at this.
A debt
Look at
collector may not use any false, deceptive, or misleading represent means in connection with the collection of any debt without limiting the general application of the foregoing. The following. Oh, that's some next shit.
Yeah, it is. I've actually had debt collectors lie about what their names were and shit.
Oh yeah, like they call you from your area code number and all that to get you to answer the phone, and
They be
then
on some
you
shit,
answer
boy.
it, and please go to a federal agent that will take your call. I beg the phone on that all day.
The false representation or implication that the debt collector is vouched for, bonded by, or affiliated with the United States or any other state, including the use of any badge, uniform, facsimile thereof, the false representation of the character, amount, legal status of any debt, or any services rendered or compensation which may be lawfully received by any debt collector.
Yeah, but
Collector
you
for the
want to know,
collection of debt.
how you get past that. You got to strengthen with that loan birth certificate. You got to be strong and got to be recorded in, and you got to be who you say you are, because that is a straw man they're talking about. You're not the straw man. You're a living person, not a person, a living man. Sorry, person is also considered like a citizen. They can't use certain words. Yeah, basically, you gotta say living man. You know what I mean? Living, breathing man.
Some people say
Living and breathing
natural
one.
person. They get away with that, I've heard.
Yeah, you could do that too. That goes into the natural organic law and all that. You know?
So Truth Seeker Alexandria Delina says, if it's mainstream, I don't trust that they could be pushing children. Now, check this out. I actually heard that they demonize it on the mainstream. They try to say it was a white supremacist organization. So they demonize it on the mainstream. So I was thinking it might be a situation where it got so big they had to mention it, but they just demonize it to basically get people to look at it negative, because that is a tactic they'll do. If it's too big for them to ignore, they'll go ahead and shit on it real quick. That way nobody really, looks into it or nothing like that. And they just label it one way and keep pushing from there. But yeah, I've seen that happen before. What's up, Truth Seeker? What's good? What's good? Ken44 says, Fructarians tough.
Oh, yo, also you gotta tell them too. Also, A6, even though it's a lot of people that's still in the process, still try to like get your credit up just in case, yo. Cause the fiat gonna go, the credit game's gonna be strong. Just to let y'all know. Don't believe what you hear, the hype. Oh, yo, you're gonna be fucked up. That's for the people that's on welfare that don't want to do shit for themselves. Create businesses for yourself in the private, off the private. Don't necessarily break down the straw man, the whole, because you're gonna need a car, a vehicle. You want to do a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people be ready to like go one way. You study before you do that. Really study this shit. Know the rules of the private and the public, because certain things you can't get it confused. You'll get caught up and get recontracted and pulled back into the same bullshit. Like a lot of shit going on right now. They offer me Section 8, food stamps. I'm in New York. I ain't taking none of that shit, yo. I still ain't. The last time we signed the lease was 2000, no, 20, yeah, 2019. Then they yell epidemic. I still ain't signed a damn lease. I ain't recontract. You understand? See, when y'all take these benefits, you gotta pay that money back. That's how they get your ass.
Yep.
They wait. You see how they raising the
Ain't none of that
taxes,
shit
right?
free. I be telling people
Out
none of that
here is
shit free.
going through it.
Some jabs and all that shit
You
that
know how
people
much it
taking and
costs
shit
to get
like
on
that, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo, you
Yeah.
gotta pay for that. And the ones that don't know how to sue, what do you think is gonna be subject to? There's winners and losers. I don't care.
It's funny y'all
Yo,
talk
nobody
about that
says like the
too.
yin and the yang. There's
I
win
was
losers. There's always gonna be
plowing
losers, bro.
Saturday at Pfizer. I was at the facility that makes all the vaccines for Pfizer. Big
Bro,
behind.
did you know?
Yo, they skipping Tony out again. He must
Oh
be
yeah,
he talking too
now
much.
it's too late now.
They cut him, yo. They cut you out, Tony. Joe Lander says, God is good. I've been praying and seeing things align after prayer by God. By the way, you also helped me tonight because the video you played helped me to cross the reference stuff. Okay. Praise God. We will win Mark 11. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah, they got my man out of there. They said, Tony, no,
Yeah,
you can't say that, man.
he really do be speaking good stuff. Dang.
He be dropping bars and shit.
Wow, he
44
really
says
said
harp.
that?
He took my harp. Yeah.
Yep, that's the place.
It's a little machine they be using. I think they got it in the little planes though, and the engines and stuff,
Oh
the
my
exhaust and
gosh.
all that. I just noticed last week we had 51 states, but I never noticed that before. Wait, what? We had 51 states.
Yeah, put the link in. Put the link in the chat for that.
Yeah, drop the link for that, Truth. Please drop the link for that.
He back.
Damn, I added them back, but they still not letting them. Damn. Yeah, I added you back in, Tony, but they don't want you talking, bro. You must have said something. I added you back in, man, but they don't want you in. They don't want you in, man.
Yeah, A6 when they peppered the sky, like I remember you did a video.
Yo,
on the
don't
line.
yell no names. Don't yell the names of that shit, nigga. I'm in New York, nigga. Do not yell that name. Soon as you yelled it, they cut my ass, nigga.
Yeah,
That shit is
that's exactly
mainly,
right. When he said
excuse
the
me
P
for the
word and
nigga
the V
word.
word. You
You
can't say the P
cannot
word and the
say
V
that
word.
because I'm out here with y'all watching on the news. Can't say that, man. Because I'm in the state where you see they try, because if they conquer here in California, it's a wrap for everybody. Just to
Yo,
put you on
Zakiba,
the
what was you
game.
saying, yo? You said
Those
Deprivation.
chemtrails.
Yeah.
So before the storm, skies was clear.
Yep,
And
blue.
then right towards the end, like I need people need to take baths after they touch this stuff. The whole sky, they did their lines, their grids all across, and then the storm came. and then the snow had a shimmer to it, like metal.
Yo,
So
do you know when it
Aluminum and
rains, it be
barium,
leaving
probably.
spots? I had a
Yeah.
drop top. It left, and I had my leather on, right? Why I got white specks from the rain, yo? I was like, what? And
Yeah,
it doesn't come
100%.
It's
out of
on
my
the
coat.
windshield.
It
It's
didn't
on
even
the
come out. It
windshield.
doesn't even come out of my paint job, yo. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? It's coming from the rain.
Yep.
It's on the windshield. Like you
And
can't.
that's from the chemtrails, because we
Mm-hmm.
can't see the sky perfect out here, where I'm at. You understand? With the apple, you can't, man. I only got to see I get to see the red moons. Me and my girl see the moons, the white moons, and all of that. I know what all that about. But up here, yo, they make sure they fog this out. The people, because they got money out here to do that. They robbing everybody with the taxes. Because there's a couple of bases out here too, Newburgh and all of that.
I got to figure out how to. I got tax season's up right now, so I'm gonna try to get some tax write off for my business and reinvest that money.
Do you know if you play with that taxes, man? I don't know, man. That shit was that's why I said that. Reading on that, because that revocation of election is for if you file taxes in the past, so IRS don't come get you.
Right.
That's the whole point of that. So if you do it, you're recontracting, and then you know what I mean.
Then they can
You're
ask you
pulling
about
yourself back. Everything you did, you just recontracted back to 14th Amendment. I'm just putting you on the game before you make a choice. Read everything before you jump out there, man. You understand? Because it took me like 2 years to really you understand? You gotta really read. You can't just ear hustle off of YouTube, bro. You really gotta read this shit, because you can fuck
100%.
yourself.
Oh, hold
if
on.
you
I'm
do
gonna
it
have
wrong.
You do consultations?
Hell no, man. I'm just like you, brother. Just like you. You see, I'm smoking, right? Just like you, brother.
True says,
You know what
I have a
mean?
link, but I saw it when I was putting the shipping options in my website. Interesting.
But then you said there's 52. What's that all about?
Look, yo, Google it. Google it, brother. Google that bitch right now. Excuse my language. No disrespect to the females in the room. Sometimes I get loose. Yeah, Google it. It's 52 states, bro. It is
Looking
not
now.
51.
I got 50 here on Google, but maybe they added some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain ones
Hold
that
on,
play
hold
with the
on, hold on,
game.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Don't forget
hold on.
that list of islands.
They added Puerto Rico and DC.
Yeah.
Okay, Puerto Rico and DC.
There you go.
So if you ordering something, you can use Puerto Rico and DC. They include those to be states. So if
Oh,
you
they
ordering
now
something
added
online,
that to the list. What?
yeah,
You damn skippy.
yeah.
And they're about to add Taiwan over there too to being a Hague country, just to let y'all know, because they warrant over there for that.
Why would
China
they do that though? What would be
China,
the
if China takes over Taiwan and all that, what's going to happen, right? That's no longer a no Hague country.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
They trying.
Try, brother.
Trying hard.
That they remember everything will not be televised.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. 100%.
You know
crazy.
that. That's like, come on, we gonna have a war. So it's like me and you, gang members. We're gonna have a war and have a film in the A6 here, right?
Hey, precisely. Right. I be telling people that too, man. Yo,
And even if they know the winner, they still not gonna let you know.
Oh.
They're just gonna show turmoil for both groups. That's it.
100%. I agree.
Yo,
with that.
they clicked him because he probably was yelling too much names, man. He bugging.
Yeah, he was talking names.
Yeah, he's bugging. He gotta read, yo. He better not jump out there. He better read this shit, yo. Get his neck tarnished and shit. They'll use him as an example.
Yep. Let you have it. But yeah, 100%, man.
I see you've been on your shit. You play with both. You've been playing with both, right? Private and public. Just keep them separated. Because that's your straw man. That's your little puppet when you want to put a show on.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean?
That's the whole point of me reading that book, man. That
Yeah.
book I got, yo, because I'm trying to get familiar with that joint so I can make moves.
Yo, the credit is gonna play a game, man. I'm telling you, yo.
Credit mastery. Yeah, okay.
Get that score up, yo. You could do wonders. Make your straw man platinum. Why you gonna leave him like a bum?
True.
Everybody, yo, I don't need fiat, but you still, yeah. That's why they didn't authenticate my joint. They told me send it my state do it. That's exactly why. As a state, not a territory, they do not authenticate no more. They let the state, your state does it now.
Mhm.
They do not allow because they took my money and said, nope, we're not giving you a federal one. You know what I'm saying? I said, hold on, I gotta definitely strengthen this because
Yo,
I
but
only
check
got.
this out, man. But that might actually further back my theory that the U.S. government actually collapsed still, because they
Yeah.
can't even authenticate the certificate of live birth. You feel
That
me?
should tell you something. They letting your state. Remember, every state is a country,
Exactly. So if they
and
letting
each governor is a
the state
president.
do it, yeah. If they letting the state do it, then that's got to be the
Yo,
state
do
is
you
its own country.
see how all right, I'm gonna say it to you like you see how the new Cuomo is trying to the Supreme Court knock your shit down. How you still talking about till February 10th? You can't do that. Supreme
No,
Court rock right now. Who
you
told
definitely
you
can't.
you're over them? They bugging, yo. Oh, you still gotta wear it. Are you crazy? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I wear it
Yeah.
because the stores, because that's not my property. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
Public and
So when
private.
I
Yep.
go in it, that's their rules. So I have to abide by their rules. When I'm walking out the door, because I don't
Yeah.
wear the mask. I use my scarf. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
I wear fake masks.
Yeah, I know. You have me dying when you go to court. You said wear a mask.
It's a mask.
Yeah.
You
You
can't tell me
were
what kind of mask.
specific. You said have a
Exactly.
mask. So,
Yeah.
that's why I was laughing when you went to court with that.
Hey, it is what it is.
It
The
did
government
collapse.
did collapse. There's a
If
code
they
for it.
keep, when they start giving people money.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a code for it that says all titles is covered. Oh
Mhm.
shit.
That's why it's funny that the government's giving you money and all that. Really?
Yeah, I always thought that the reason they're giving people payments is because that they had like
Bro,
sharing the trust or such.
do you know people still don't realize Trump is still the president?
Word.
Look on the stimulus checks, you idiots. It's not Biden.
I haven't gotten a stimulus check in a long ass
No,
time.
at the ones that people know, I'm sure there's people in here that's watching you that got a few people that got it. Look who signed the signature, and then you're gonna scratch your head just because he's letting y'all look at it like this character's doing it. He been killed that clown. Remember, when you're a war criminal, they're not gonna show you getting hung. Just the ones that know.
Somebody said a lot of them got executed in Guantanamo Bay.
Come on, you don't see Homo. You don't see Homo running around. They big got his ass, nigga. For them dead joints up in the U-Hauls behind the homes. Yo, my man son. They did that to him, man. He's wilding.
You said the dead joints in the U-Hauls?
Yeah, that's what they did with the old school ones that kicked the. You heard in the homes they was like put them in the bags and throw them in the U-Hauls and park it in the back. My man was unloading them. I said, you got balls. You a Jamaican. You know Jamaican niggas love getting money. I wouldn't have did that. He said, yo, them shits was back there for like 3 weeks in them vans.
What? Shit.
You think he didn't go down for that? Law people telling people, oh, you can't see your oldie because they trying to burn the evidence. That's
Damn.
why they got his ass, nigga. That's like a mass
That's crimes
murder.
against humanity right there, yo.
Yeah, why you think he ain't here to tell you about it?
Damn. They got Cuomo ass like what is that, over a year ago?
Don't say the name, homie. You just the homo. You homo. You
Homo.
know?
Homo.
That's copy infringement. You know that, bro.
True.
That's why homie got. Remember, names are copywritten.
True. Trademark.
Yeah, man. You should know that off your top.
Yeah, absolutely. DC authenticated mine 4 months ago. I'm in Michigan and got mine authenticated on a state and federal level.
Oh, they did it for you?
Yeah, he said 4 months ago. Yo, but check this out, man. Check
It's
this out.
kind of weird.
Check
I
this out,
did it.
though.
I did that. They sent it back.
I actually found out that people were sending their joints to the wrong address. So I just read this recently. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here. I got a bunch of these. I got a bunch of screenshots. I follow a lot of heads on the gram, and they be spitting facts.
Yeah, because the gram is not like YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You don't be sitting there and see how they cut you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I guess YouTube, Facebook owns that.
I gotta find it. I gotta find this joint. I definitely had it in here though because I screenshotted it.
Yo, you been studying that SBC?
Yeah, I'm reading 3 books right now, bro. It's hard. I'm juggling 3 books. I gotta know all 3 of them. You feel me? So it ain't easy. I gotta find a joint. What I'm gonna do for you guys is I'm gonna find it, right, and I'll probably next show I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a different address. You actually gotta your send your authenticated your certificate to be authenticated, certificate of live birth. Yeah, there's a different address. He said
It's
people are
not
sending
that
it to the
same.
wrong one.
So it's not that one. The PO Box 1206. It's not that one no more.
Now I gotta find it, yo, because I screenshotted it purposely. I got so
Remember
many.
they
I got switch through
remember
this phone.
they changed up everything because too many people was doing it. You know what I'm saying?
That could be the issue too.
And remember, DC is not is known as an entity now, so they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Why you think you can't go into there like that? Only certain spots. They're gonna keep running this.
Facade. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it, yo. I'm gonna have to find it. But
Cause see
yeah,
how you went to go do the World P, and they was like they had it shut down because of what's going on.
yeah. I told. Oh, by the
They're
way, I meant
abusing
to
that,
tell y'all
yo.
about this too, yo, because I know a lot of people was asking me about it. I did speak to David. All right, David with the world passport and such. I spoke to him, and we're supposed to be setting up a time where he can come in, and everybody here can ask David questions about the World Citizen Passport, and we can all know exactly, what it is with it. So I'm still hashing out time because he available a certain time, I'm available a certain time. He recognizes that coming on the channel is going to give him some sales, and it's going to give me the views and such. So it's a mutual beneficial transaction. So I'm still setting it up with David. So be patient. I got y'all. I didn't forget
Nah,
about y'all.
he
I just
does
talked
it.
to David.
He does do it because he did it for General Hale. Yeah, he does it for a few. He did it for General Hale and shit. Cause I be following General Hale. I be messing around with him too. He another one that dude out in Atlanta. His
You want
joint is strong.
Hellraiser?
Yeah, he good.
Yeah.
I be messing with him too, yo.
Yeah, that dude sharp.
I was supposed to sign up with him, but I said
He said that.
I gotta straighten my joint. I be joking around with him because I'm on his app. His app is good. A lot of that dude is knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to strengthen my character before I go into his situation because you like to show you don't want to come in there as a common. You want to come in there as a noble. You know what I mean? Or a
Yeah.
king. I don't like joining groups like a regular. I want to have a little. You know what I mean?
Status on you, right?
Yeah, like that's Batman, that's Superman. Each one had their own. Oh, that's not a person that just got to be saved. He does the saving.
True. Carl says exactly. Tony, each state is actually a country.
And your governor is the president.
Truth Seeker says, I'll tell you the code in a minute. I printed it somewhere. She must, yeah, she knew what I'm talking about.
She been on this show for a minute, yo.
Hell yeah.
She be knowing a joint too.
Faithful watcher says Trump is gold.
Why you think he's putting gold in his hair? He's playing around with the color of his hair. Gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, silver.
I ain't
Bringing
even
the money
noticed
back.
that.
He brought the money back in March 2020. Everybody didn't realize it. 2021. Everybody didn't realize it. The banks it's real money. I told y'all, look
What you
at
mean, yo? What you mean?
See, I can't go into that. I'm gonna go, there's private money, there's money running around. You know what Trump did, yo? Do your homework, man. Trump ain't just falling back. He's trying to bring the United States of America back. You understand? The
No, but see,
gold, silver
I kind of
standard.
looked at it. Yeah, I heard about the gold and silver standard coming back, but yo, I kind of looked at it as Trump being part of the opposition though, because it's controlled opposition. You feel me?
Yo, you're gonna have your hands in both sides of the games, man. You just gotta know how to play the. All right, well, you see how many people? If we was in the Sahara Desert, that used to be a big ass ocean, and there was snakes around. We had no choice to sleep. We would sleep, right? But we'd be mindful of the snakes crawling in the grass, in the sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta learn how to live with the snakes in order to keep living around the snakes and still keep doing what you got to do, right? Just like the people who live in Florida live around alligators and snakes and spiders and all type of fake shit. They got to deal with that, right? They still live out there. They still ducking and dodging. You still got to do what you got to do.
Point taken. Point taken. Politically incorrect says someone put up a video of their retirement from the armed services after Brandon stole office. His papers were signed by Trump. Get the fuck out of here.
Was that told you?
Yo, that's crazy.
I told you. This is a movie. Y'all didn't realize it yet?
So it's just like I said, the U.S. corporation collapsed, and you saying the Republicans
I'm
left.
not trying to play nobody, but yo, let's be real here, yo. What do you think? I didn't invest in no crypto. What do you think crypto is, bro? That's in sex trafficking. That's sex trafficking money. Do your homework on that. I'm trying to put you. I'm gonna put you on the
That's just
game.
got a lot of purpose. People were saying, I know they had a problem with it before because they were
the
saying you only
feds
need
put
crypto if you're doing some
rules
illegal
on
shit.
it. Once anything can be taxed, is it private anymore? Let's keep it 100. Anything is taxed, yo. Is it public anymore?
Facts. You know
If
what's not. You know what
if
can't
we're
be
in the
taxed?
private,
You know what
if we're
can't be
in the
taxed?
private,
Gold and silver.
All right, watch John Wick again. Watch it 3 times. I think they didn't realize what he was pulling out every time he bodied somebody. He had to pay 2 gold coins. He didn't pull out fiat. He pulled gold
He burnt the
coins
fiat,
out.
didn't he? Didn't he burn the fiat?
Yeah, that wasn't real money. And everybody he bodied, he used gold coins. Think about it. He had that buried with his guns. He didn't have no fucking money. He had his guns and gold coins. Y'all didn't pay attention, man. You didn't see what the police did? Hey, John, you're back in the game again? Nah, I just had to settle some problems. You know he could not come in that house, right? Why he couldn't come in that house? Because your boy is a what? A national. You didn't see how he was moving? A national.
Word.
Y'all better watch these movies with the third eye and stop watching it with these eyes, because the hands is faster than these eyes, but not faster than this eye.
They skipping you out again, man.
Look, I'm talking shit, man.
They
But
skipping
you know what
out
I mean, man. Open this. This is your
Yeah.
real eyes, not these, man. Because these is what we looking at right now. Y'all don't even know this shit is not even hard. It's liquid, everything. But y'all, you got to go deep into that. That's dealing with them crystals and stuff. See, it's one. You can't get caught up in this artificial world and lose yourself in that, and not know what the real world is, the cosmos and shit. Because we supposed to tell time off the stars and all that stuff and all. Not no clock and all of this. This is made up shit, yo. That's why some of y'all probably ain't even getting no sleep. Do you know I sleep 4 hours a day? I don't show it. You see bags like that under my eyes? No, bro. I eat salad in the morning. I don't eat no meat or none of that. Y'all gotta get in touch back. Don't stay too on to this. This is murderous too. You go outside a lot. You always outside driving, man. You
I
still
don't know
drive.
what you're talking about, bro.
Y'all get snow out there?
I don't be out driving nowhere. Don't put that charge on me.
Oh, you be traveling, bro. You know what I mean.
Traveling, my man.
But when you playing that game, you driving though. When you playing that video game,
You said playing video games?
I said you driving when you playing that video game though.
Word. Says Trump is also silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, the address was incorrect. I had to research to find the right one. Yeah, right. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Which one was it?
I gotta pull it up, y'all, because I got it on my phone. If they ain't do some shit to it or something. I live in
Yo, but I
Michigan.
know your
definitely
state
got
can
mine
do it too
authenticated.
though, because they sent mine to the judge.
I mean,
That's
I
what
had no problems
said.
in Maryland. The state did the shit in Maryland, so I had no problem in Maryland.
Yeah, I'm at where I'm at though, and why yo these motherfuckers yo got different rules, yo, because everybody
Yes,
like
sir.
you said, everybody got their everybody
hands in it.
think
They
this
already
is a
got their
big
hands in it.
twat. They think this is a big twat out here, and we got all type of everybody sticking their in here. Yo, I'm in there too, B. This is crazy, yo. I'm just watching how many motherfuckers come here for free.
Where hip hop says they were actually cool up in Lansing, authenticated same day on the state level, about a 20-minute wait. Word. I
did
mailed
that
my
too
shit
in
and
my
got my
state,
shit back the next
but we
week. Yo. That
talking
shit was
about the
easy.
we talking about the federal
He talking about the
authentication.
federal, yeah.
We're not talking about the state. State is easy. We talking about the federal, bro. No, yo, they not doing it. They're known as an entity now. I just told you that. They just look it up, yo. Your state is allowed to authenticate your birth certificate. Yo, your governor is the president of your damn country, your state. Y'all gotta
My man
certain,
frustrated.
yeah, yo. Cause out here they playing games, man. I done sent these dudes mad bread, yo.
28 USC 3002, Section 15, United States. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
I'm gonna write that code now.
Man. Stream broke when I got the code. Yep.
Yo, put that. Let me see that shit again, man. I'm on the stream. What's that code she just now put up? 28 what?
28 USC 3002. You should know that by heart, Tony.
Oh, no, yo. I smoke too much weed, yo. You gotta remember, yo. They got dudes knocking on the door, see if you taking the vax. They got dudes trying to say you want food stamp. They knocking on the door, yo. This is crazy,
Trying
yo.
to give you some shit, huh?
I don't open the door for nothing, man. I'm
Facts.
private. I'm in a private.
Look in the post office and gov buildings. If Brandon is anything, his pick will be there. Does anyone know whose pick is up front? Yo, you know what's crazy? The last few times I went in the post office, I ain't see neither one of their pictures up there, yo. That's crazy.
They hiding it. That's why I don't want everybody to know, man. Trump told y'all this is a movie, yo. Just stick tight. Y'all gonna see it's a lot of things. He gotta remember, you gotta shit when you shaking out all the roaches, when he was shaking them out, they hiding. That's what he's doing right now. Remember, Trump was on that island too, playing with them little girls. Don't y'all get it twisted. What do you
I
think?
saw he was on
He
a
was in
flight
the
log
picture.
once.
You didn't see him in the picture with one. You didn't see him in the picture with that dude. Come on, man.
He was on a flight log once though.
Come on, yo, it don't matter, man. Skooma was there too, yo, and he's the head of the over here, yo. Come on, man. Let's keep it 100, yo. Anybody that was that man in the picture and he paid, come on, yo, Trump. What you think? All right, if you was the king and you had dirt on yourself, let's keep it 100, and you was a Neanderthal, how would you think on your animalistic side? You're gonna be grimy. I'm gonna get the whole set knocked. You ain't gonna do me like Julius Caesar. We all dirty. I ain't gonna take. Nah, him. That's yo. Come on, let's keep it 100. They Neanderthals. Come on, yo. Yo, look at Lion King for what it is, yo. His own brother crossed him and tried to kill his seed, yo.
Facts.
Who does that?
Facts.
Did they do that in Shaka Zulu? No.
Hell no.
You had to scrap for your shit, yo. Come on, yo. Y'all.
Hip hop says facts. I noticed that too. Wick definitely had the gold coins.
Pay attention, man.
Chris
and anybody
says,
that got shot was just a standby. Oh well, 14th Amendment. Nobody care about you. Yo, I'm gonna keep it so 100. I knew what was going on. My girl bought a car. Yo, bro, I done bought her 2 cars. Yo, why I crashed in the back of a Russian and he pulls out this type of license that said he was a nationalist, and they said it was my fault, even though I showed him on camera that this nigga was moving in and out of the lanes and then hit brakes in front of me while he was still in both lanes.
Shit.
The cop says your fault. I said, oh shit. And I looked at the ID he used. Fucking nationalist, you bitch ass motherfucker. I'll never forget on Valentine's Day too, you motherfucker. This was like back in 2009. I was so fucking mad. Now I know how he got me, motherfucker. And he was down with the newspaper too. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Chris says benefits and privileges are taxed. Trump is platinum. I promise blacks in presidential campaign rally. Platinum. Yo, y'all.
Yeah, you hear what that word black is? I'm not black, bro. None of us is black. Black is a color. Black is really to nothing. I don't know why everybody keep using this black word. Black is not a culture. Stop signifying yourself as black. Because if you are, then I'm gonna step on you like a black rug.
Word. The world is a stage, hip hop lit says. Ken says 44. Ken 44, the law of the land. I love the winter. The federal was 2-week wait for me to get it back on the federal level. 2 weeks, huh? Okay. Mine's only took like, I think 7 days. And it wasn't the federal level, it was the state level. The intermediary itself is going away. Yeah. Trump didn't even bail Puerto Rico Hurricane Maria.
No, he threw toilet paper.
That's not true, yo. That's not true. Let me tell you something, yo. This is what y'all don't know. Yo. They actually had caught people that
the
was
politicians were stealing.
Let me tell them what happened, yo, because you know what happened. Look, a lot of people don't know this. 2 years after that shit happened, right, where they showed them throwing paper towels, some of the citizens of Puerto Rico actually cut open one of the bolt locks to one of those warehouses, and when they cut the bolt locks open, they opened the inside, and it was like thousands and thousands of rows of all kinds of supplies that Trump has sent. They put that shit in the warehouse and hid the shit to create a political agenda that Trump didn't give a fuck about Puerto Rico. I shit you not. Look it up, yo. Look, that shit is online. You might have to hunt for it because it's been a while. That shit was. I think I learned that shit about 4 years ago. That shit was crazy. That's when I first realized like the media was just fucking everything up, yo.
Because he was remember the Xeon. You know when I say Xeon, because Yusuf always mentioned that. I've been following him for years. They done took his channel down. He done had 100,000, even though he say some funny shit, but it's cool though. I respect that from OG's granddad. You cool though. I respect you though, granddad. But anyways, you got to remember a lot of the laws from that time in the 90s and the 80s. That's the real stuff. He took it with his own
You see his
daughters.
picture when he took it with his own daughter sitting in his lap, gazing in his eyes like a lover. Yeah, that shit was
Yo,
hard.
don't you think it was weird when he was on that talk show and he said, "Yo, wouldn't he was talking about how pretty his daughter is?" He said he wouldn't even have sex. I would looked at him when he said that, like, what the
that was odd.
Yo, I just was like, this dude is crazy. He's blunt, but he's crazy. At least we know what he is.
Just about every major celebrity or politician was vacationing.
Oh yeah. Just to put y'all on the game, your favorite rapper, because I'm cool with some of them. They took that vax. They took that vax.
All the motherfuckers took that vax. Your
I'm
favorite
mad.
Disney actor, all the Marvel
I'm mad
motherfuckers.
because they like, yo, son, why you ain't come to the show? I sent you tickets. I said, are you mad? I said, everybody go to the concert. They're going to be right at your house. Because if you got an iPhone, they're going to be right at your house talking about, here you go. Can you take this for us, please? You getting a benefit, right? We paid your rent for how much? For a year? Yeah, we got you.
Yep, 100%. I agree with Tony on that.
Black is the last color
right
you see.
Black is the last
and the
color
first color you see. Sleep awoke. Remember, you was born in the darkness when you was in your mom's stomach. Study that too. Study that too. Because that's why I tell a lot of people that the woman is not God. They're goddesses. You know what I'm saying? They're not gods. They're goddess.
10:44. Time in Norway is now 5:55. All right, man. That's what's up, man. How's everything going in Norway? Understand political pawn game.
Yeah, y'all got it the
Blacks have
worst.
no standing in law. Yep. Absolutely. Man, I'm about to wrap it up for the night, man. I'm tired. About to get ready to hit this
Yeah,
clock
2
and make
minutes
some
for
more
you to
food.
be tomorrow. You
What?
already on Monday in 2 minutes.
Facts. Yeah. Hey, how about that, man?
Yo, this is a long show, yo. I be
Yeah,
trying
man,
to fall back, yo, because I be wanting your show get hot, man.
Nah, you good. You good. We kept it mild tonight. We ain't do too
Yeah.
much tonight. So my man got kicked out of the joint, but it's all good.
Because he was yelling names, and I'm from what he's talking about, and it's on the news, and I'm like, why he say that? And I got burnt. You see how I got burnt when he kept yelling it?
They got you up out of there twice.
Where you think the lawsuit's going on? It's going on out here.
Yeah. Well. Yo,
Yo,
all
you
right,
better.
man.
But yo,
what's
stay
up?
safe, brother. Because it's
No
rough
doubt,
out
no
here.
doubt. You too, man. Good looking out. I'm definitely
When you
gonna be
doing
in
the
touch
next
with you and
show?
shit.
Because you be funny, man. You sometimes you'll pop up on a Tuesday and say, hey.
Nah, because like what I do on my channel, if something happened where I can't go live, I go ahead and tell everybody early Sunday I'm not gonna be able to make it, and then I
Yo,
go ahead and schedule
promote
it
your
for
gram
Tuesday.
too. A6.
The gram,
Yeah, come on, yo, because I be talking to you on that too.
Yeah, word. Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
don't really be using the gram for this, but you're right. I need to do that.
Yo, that live, you can get off, yo. Even you, everybody's going on there because the live is more. They're not like glitching you. You can be comfortable a little bit. You understand?
Absolutely,
And you need to start having your Cashapp roll through the bottom. Learn how to put that on your screen, brother.
I forgot to do the joint because I was
Come
running
on,
late.
man.
I was running late today, yo. I
I'm
was like, shit.
gonna hit you on the gram and remind you.
You're right. I actually know how to do the banners. I did it last time I was on live.
You don't gotta say it, but some people might.
There it is right there. Yeah. I forgot to put the joint in there for real. And they got my man up out of there. All right, so thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. That's exactly what happened in Puerto Rico. The left hid food and water from the people who needed it because they hated Trump and they do anything to get power. Yeah, man. It's a dirty game, 100%. Definitely a dirty game. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and say good night to everybody, man. It is a foreign national born natural A6. Thank you for tuning in. Great conversation we had today. Covered a lot of base. If you would like a consultation, please hit me up. My email is right in the description. And, I'll let you know if something I can help you out with, and I'll provide you with everything I can give you. It's been real. Thank you for tuning in. I will holler at y'all in the next one. Take it easy. Peace out.